We plan to
Test,
celebrate
test,
all
check,
year long.
check.
Since
How we doing?
2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first
Okay,
and deliver
sound
a
good?
drastically different experience, no matter where you. In all Allo communities.
Looking for
Testing,
free instead
testing,
of
check,
fees?
check.
Platte Valley Bank can keep your finances moving
And he
forward.
throws
with
him out at
ATM
first.
fees.
Blah,
Whether
blah,
you are
blah,
headed
blah,
to the
blah,
lake,
blah.
the mountains, or just to the grocery store. www.pvbank.com. You belong here.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Fender bender, hailstorm, couldn't stop on the ice in time? After everyone is safe, Scottsbluff Body and Paint should be the first call you make. There isn't a better shop in the area. Our highly skilled team is experienced at performing all auto body repair and paint jobs. Stop by anytime and speak to one of our technicians, and we'll do a full inspection to show you just how little our repair services will cost you. Our work is not complete until your car is safe and you're on the road again. Call today, Scottsbluff Body and Paint, 225-6408.
Staying active and healthy as we age starts with strong bones. To keep your bones strong, you need calcium, vitamin D, and regular exercise. A bone density test called DEXA helps detect low bone mass and bone disease called osteoporosis. If you're 65 or older, Medicare provides free bone density tests every 2 years. Ask your doctor to schedule yours. For more information on how to be bone strong, visit pathtogoodbonehealth.org.
Your trusted voice for 75 years. KNEB, Scottsbluff, Gearing, 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Nebraska Rural Radio Association. This is the Platte Valley Company's pregame show, brought to you by Platte Valley Companies, your premier provider of financial services. Live from the Logos broadcast booth, it's the Platte Valley Company's pregame show.
Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball here at Oregon Trail Park. My name is Carson Trail, live from the Logos broadcast booth. Today, the Pioneers will look to bounce back from a shutout loss yesterday. They will face off with the Colorado Rough Riders from just north of Denver in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Thank you very much for joining us. The Pioneers were shut out for the first time this season yesterday by a score of 6-0. Connor Riggs in his final start as a Pioneer was absolutely dominant, but unfortunately so was Gunnar Pike. A battle of two southpaws. Pike was the victor, going 7 innings, allowing 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, and no runs. The Pioneers will try to avoid dropping back-to-back games for the first time this year, and to see just how they'll do that, we'll be back on our Platte Valley Company's pregame show and ask head coach Brandon Nelson in just a couple moments.
Fender bender, hailstorm, couldn't stop on the ice in time? After everyone is safe, Scottsbluff Body and Paint should be the first call you make. There isn't a better shop in the area. Our highly skilled team is experienced at performing all auto body repair and paint jobs. Stop by anytime and speak to one of our technicians, and we'll do a full inspection to show you just how little our repair services will cost you. Our work is not complete until your car is safe and you're on the road again. Call today, Scottsbluff Body and Paint, 225-6408.
It's summertime, which means camping, backyard fire pits, and of course, grilling. Don't let an empty propane cylinder ruin your summer fun. Stop by your nearest Westco with our convenient propane cylinder exchange stations located at each of our C-stores, or refill your cylinder at any one of our bulk fuel stations. Westco wishes you a fun-filled summer and is happy to serve your propane needs. Westco. Service, solutions, success.
Westco's your best value through and through.
Tired of feeling stuck? Platte Valley Bank can help keep your finances moving forward. We have checking account options to fit your lifestyle and an online account chooser to make finding the right account easy. Now is the time to grab every opportunity and enjoy the ride with Platte Valley Bank. Start today at www.pvbank.com. You belong here.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
Live from the Logos broadcast booth, this is our Scottsbluff screen printing pregame interview featuring head coach Brandon Nelson of the Pioneers. Coach, thank you again for joining us. The team is coming off a rocky shutout loss to the Colorado Rough Riders. And just kind of trying to get your thoughts on that and what the team can perhaps do a little bit better entering today.
Honestly, like, their guys just did a good job. Like, their pitching staff, we hit some balls pretty well. We hit some not very well, but we hit a lot right at people. And sometimes that's just baseball. And, nothing was really going our way. We got a really good start out of Connor Riggs. And, and then I felt that the bullpen did a good job after that as well for the most part. They were at least competitive. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just lose a game. And I don't think we did anything to shoot ourselves in the foot. I mean, did we do as well at the plate as I'd like? No, but again, their pitchers shut us down, and their two bullpen guys came in and shut us down, and sometimes that just happens. So tip your cap and try to move on and just focus on today because yesterday's over with.
And I wanted to talk a bit about the team's struggles recently against left-handed pitching. To what extent do you think some adjustments need to be made versus sticking to the process and the improved results will follow?
It's really just, in my opinion, just sticking to the process. I can't really think, lefties are a little weird. Obviously, you don't see as many of them as you do righties. So some guys do well with it, some don't. And it's just a process of, that's kind of what summer ball's for, like for them to get more comfortable in scenarios that maybe they're not in the spring. And so this is good for them, hopefully they get those struggles out of the way and they get more comfortable with it. And, they go from there in their springs and their schools, wherever they go. And, it's just one of those things. I think you just stick to the process. I try to tell our guys I don't really ever care who we're facing, team-wise, pitcher-wise, player-wise. It doesn't really matter to me. Like, we're just going to go out there and play our game and to the best of our ability. And if we do that and we lost like we did last night, I can't be upset about it. It's just one of those things where it was just a tough game for us. And, hopefully we had a good bounce back today.
Coach, the team playing the Colorado Rough Riders tonight, the second of the 3-game series. The team is now 2-2 on the homestand. So how important is today that they get things back on track?
It's huge. I mean, we need to win. I want to win the series, but in order to maintain 500 or above at home, we got to win one of these two to secure 3-3 on the homestand, which is not good by any means, but I'd rather go 500 than below 500. So yeah, we really need this. We really need to win, and it's the same thing since day one. I want us to win every day that we possibly can, and go out there with the mindset of that's what we're trying to do. And so yeah, I mean, if we go out and continue to play like we have all summer for the most part, I think we've got a good shot. We just got to wake it up a little bit and try to move on from last night because, it was frustrating. There were some frustrations in the dugout, things not happening for us. And, that's how it goes. Sometimes those games happen. And I think, most of our guys have played baseball enough to understand that. So, it's just one of those things where I have to remind them, like, hey, like, I don't, yesterday's over. Who cares? We're about today. So, I think that's just the mindset we got to have going forward today.
And my final question to you today, Coach. We're in the part of the season where the team is starting to say some goodbyes to some guys. Connor Riggs yesterday really went out on a high note, although the team that not as high of a note as you would have liked to go out on. And today it's Garrett Esposito.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. It's kind of the way it goes in summer ball. As the summer gets deeper and you get later in the year, a lot of guys get, they're just ready to go home. And I, as much as I would love every one of them to stay all 60 plus days or whatever we're here, it would be, very foolish of me to think that that's ever going to happen. It happens in every league, every place in the country. And that's just kind of how it goes. Guys need to go get ready for school. They need to go. Some need to go back to work. Some need to, just be with their families because they haven't seen them in a year. So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of part of it. And losing Espo is it's not ideal. I don't want to lose any of our guys. I loved every one that we've had and the ones that we still have. So I hate saying goodbye, but I'm appreciative of every one of them for coming out. So for me, that's a relationship that I have, with them forever, and hopefully get to continue to watch them develop and grow into better players and better men as they go out and through life. And I still have relationships with guys from, my first year as a head coach in 2019. So, it's the same thing. I want to have that with those guys. And, they know that I'm here for them, whatever. And so I'm sad to see them go, but happy because I know that they got something out of this and that they're going home. At least athletically, I would like to hope better and that they're ready for another step forward in their career.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for your time. The Pioneers and the Colorado Rough Riders in just a few moments. This has been our Scottsbluff Screen Printing pregame interview. See Shane and his crew at Scottsbluff Screen Printing for all of your fall sports needs. We'll be back with our final segments of the Platte Valley Company's pregame show, including the anthem and the lineups, next.
Be the envy of the neighborhood with the new Green Mountain Grill from High Plains Spas and Recreation. In addition to Green Mountain Grills, High Plains Spas and Recreation also has the pellets, cooking spices, rib racks, smoking shelves, covers, and other accessories, as well as replacement parts. If they don't have what you need, they could get it. Yep, Green Mountain Grill. That neighbor that's always admired for the wonderful, yummy barbecue smells. High Plains Spas and Recreation. Open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 1725 East Overland in Scottsbluff.
Summer has finally arrived, and the Viero Christmas in July savings have begun. Right now, get the highly requested Google Pixel 7a on us, or buy one, get one Galaxy S23 flagship smartphone. If the iPhone is more your flavor, then you're in luck. Get the latest, greatest iPhone 14 on us. Last but not least, when you switch to Viero and bring your number, your first month of service is free. It's quick, easy, and you'll start saving big today. Only at Viero. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
At Papa Murphy's, they make fresh pizza that you bake at home, like the fan favorite cowboy pizza, because home is where the cozy is, home's where the fun is, home is where together is, and home is where the yum is. Because when you taste this home-baked pizza, you won't want to be anywhere else. Right now, get the Hawaiian pizza with fresh grated mozzarella, Canadian bacon, and pineapple for just $9.99. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza. Order now at papamurphys.com.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
First pitch, ceremonial first pitch, just getting thrown out here at Oregon Trail Park. The Pioneers, after another rain delay, will face off against the Colorado Rough Riders in just a few moments. Game 2 of this 3-game series, the Pioneers trying to bounce back after being shut out for the only time this year. The Rough Riders also have had some really much improved pitching over the past stretch, and that is really culminated in the shutout yesterday, their first time holding a team to no runs in a year. So both teams in somewhat uncharted territory, the Pioneers with some offense that they would like to improve upon, to say the least, and then the Rough Riders, who have won back-to-back games for the first time since late June. They're going to try to win 3 in a row for the first time this year. On the mound for them, it'll be Kean Phillips, the right-hander from Rutgers Camden. He's a recent graduate of Wheat Ridge High School, which is where head coach Adam Miller of the Rough Riders gets many of his recruits. He has been at the helm there for over a couple of decades, and then he's been at the helm of the Rough Riders for the past 3 years. So he has handpicked Kean Phillips, and Phillips has been all right this year. Taking a look at his season stats, a 2-1 record in 29 innings pitched with a save to boast as well, an .807 earned run average, 29 strikeouts to 19 walks. His last outing was against the Liberal BJs, a team that the Pioneers will soon face here in just a couple of days. The 7-day road trip, the gauntlet of the season, to come up in a few days, starting Friday, going through the following Thursday. So 2 more games on the homestand, beginning with tonight, and then the 7-day-long road trip before things are finally evened out with a home series to end the year. So the Pioneers trying to bounce back, go back to 2-2 on the homestand, or go 3-2 on the homestand after taking 2 out of 3 against North Platte. So the umpires meeting today. We're going to know who they are in just a couple of moments. I do believe that Jamie Balthazar is back in action. He'll be in the field. Confirmation to come in just a couple of moments. Let's talk about our keys to the game. One thing that's happened in the past 2 games against the Rough Riders, the Pioneers also played them the Thursday before this homestand began. The Rough Riders have really been swinging freely and swinging hard. They have hit 4 home runs across the first 2 games, 2 in every game, and that's how they got many of their runs in yesterday's contest as well. So keep them in the yard is going to be the mission of Brandon Ward, the 6'5", 220-pound right-hander from Knox College. In his second start of the year, he's totaled 16 innings so far, a 7.31 earned run average, 24 strikeouts to 5 walks. So he is a strike thrower. He's got a variety of different pitches, and although his stuff plays down just a bit when he's not coming as a reliever, he's still gotten a lot of weak contact, a lot of swings and misses, and to look to do the same against the visiting Rough Riders. Once again, thank you very much for joining us, folks. This is Pioneers Baseball. My name's Carson Trail in the Logos broadcast booth. Logos is your home for all screen printing and embroidery needs. Shop at the showroom or have something custom made at Logos at 1344 10th Street in Gering. Our key to the game was presented by Team Auto Center. Keep the ball in the yard. Home of the lifetime warranty on every new vehicle from Team Auto. So the Pioneers and the Colorado Rough Riders, they are about to get underway with the 3rd game of the season series. They were originally set to play 5 total games against one another, but the first game of what would have been a 4-game road trip for the Pioneers was canceled. That road trip wrapping up last Thursday at 2-1. The Pioneers this month have had a bit more of a modest showing. They are 8-5 after going 13-3 in June and 4-2 in May. So a lot of cancellations in June, and the tough part of the schedule ahead of the Pioneers starting this Friday. It'll be 3 against the Hayes Larks, 2 against the Liberal VJs, and 2 against the Dodge City A's, all on the road. The Pioneers and A's will play each other for the first time this year, and there's a lot of good baseball ahead of us. So, the Pioneers wearing their black alternate jerseys with white pants, red belts, red socks, and black and red hats. Of course, the red being the brim. They will face off against the green and white Colorado Rough Riders. A similar color scheme to North Platte, albeit just a bit darker, sporting the green shirts and white pants. The Rough Riders are a long-standing and highly esteemed member of the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, and the Pioneers quite possibly might host them a week from now. The Rough Riders might be the final homestand of the year for the Western Nebraska Pioneers after the road trip has drawn to conclusion. Now, for our national anthem, let's pause in honor of our country.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Time now for our starting lineups, beginning with the visiting Colorado Rough Riders. Caleb McClellan will lead off and play center field. Weston Miller, the second baseman, will bat second. Marcus Hamry, the right fielder, will bat third. Ian Baldwin, the cleanup man in left field today after serving as the DH. Chris Levenstein, who's been swinging a hot bat recently. He is the first baseman, batting fifth. Reagan Guthrie, the catcher, back behind the plate, batting sixth. John Mallow, the shortstop today. He is batting seventh. Eddie Montoya, the eighth place hitter, is the DH. And Andrew LaPearl, the third baseman, bats ninth. For the Western Nebraska Pioneers, James Lehman is leading off and playing shortstop. Garrett Esposito, the left fielder, is batting second. Isaiah Gibbs, the right fielder, is batting third. Michael Asensio, the cleanup man, at first base. Brad Halleck is the DH, batting fifth. Cam Schneider at second base today. He is batting sixth. Coy Carpenter in center field is batting seventh. Garrett Fisher, the eighth place hitter, is the catcher for today. Griffin Robinson today at third base, batting ninth. On the hill, it's going to be Brandon Ward. We've already talked a little bit about him. He is in his second start of the year, and he's been stretched out for a total of 16 innings on the campaign. He came to the team in mid-June, about a month into his tenure as a Pioneer. In mid-July, he has made 6 appearances so far. This will be his 7th and his second start of the year. Our opening pitch is brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza, located at 2801 Avenue B in Scottsbluff. It's love at 425 degrees. And don't forget to register for the Papa Murphy's Tex Club for a sweet deal. So Brandon Ward on the mound, Garrett Fisher the catcher, the last one remaining on the roster with the departure of Jacob Lang. The Pioneers are still hoping to add some more catching depth for the final part of this season. A lot of good baseball ahead, beginning with tonight. The Rough Riders entering at, I believe, 8-18. They got back-to-back wins for the first time in almost a month yesterday and the day before that against the Game Day Angels, and then the Pioneers shutting him out yesterday at Oregon Trail Park. The Pioneers entering 25-10. They've had a little bit rougher of a month in July with their depth starting to wither, and they will play against the Rough Riders for the second straight day, with Game 3 coming tomorrow. From the Logos broadcast booth, I'm Carson Trail. It's time for some Pioneers baseball, as with the first pitch, Brandon Ward facing off against the right-handed batter, Caleb McClellan. McClellan was a nuisance when the Pioneers played the Rough Riders at home in Colorado. Here's the first pitch, and a big curveball drops in a bit outside. First pitch at 7:20 p.m. Mountain Time. Ward winds and throws. Fastball swung on and missed. That one had a lot of sink. Ward loves working with that heater boring down and in on the hands, and it's 1-1. Infield's playing back the pitch. Swung on and missed. Looked like a cut fastball there. Ward, working from a very deceptive low three-quarter release, really loves mixing up what he has to offer. Here's the 1-2. Fastball up and in. McClellan has to kind of bend out of danger a little bit. The count 2-2. Here's Ward's windup and pitch, and he struck him out swinging. A high fastball got him. McClellan is set down, and that's how this game gets started. So with one out here in the first, here is Weston Miller.
Next batter up, second baseman, Bryce Kamen from Regis University, number 1, Weston Miller.
Miller batting right-handed. Here's Ward pitching, and a fastball in there for a strike. Weston Miller was hitless yesterday, although he has put together an outstanding season for himself. The pitch swung on and missed. A sword swing at a curveball. And it's 0-2. Ward with sharp break on that 12-6 curveball. A bit unusual. Here's the pitch. Fastball very high. It's unusual to have movement like that on such a slingshot kind of windup. Typically, pitchers from a low 3/4 will have kind of a 11-5 or a different kind of movement. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball high and tight. The count even to the second straight batter here in the first. Base is empty, 1 man out. Just underway here in game 2 of this 3-game series. Ward shakes off Fisher. Now he throws. Fastball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Brandon Ward, going back to his last appearance in relief, has struck out 5 in a row. And 2 in a row to start things here in game 2. Brandon Ward, really, we were told that his stuff plays up in shorter stints, but it really seems like he's not taking anything off of any of his pitches. As Marcus Hamry, the pitch, he takes off the outside, ball 1. Hamry, a left-hand batter, has lots of power, and he showed it yesterday with a solo home run. 2 gone here in the first. The pitch, down and in, cut fastball missing, 2-0. Ian Baldwin, the left fielder, is waiting on deck. In the meantime, Hamry with a slightly open stance toward the back of the batter's box. Here's the 2-0. Cut fastball, hit right back to Ward on 1 hop, jogging toward first. He underhands to Asensio, and the side is retired. So a painless first inning for Brandon Ward. As we go now to the last of the first, it is the Rough Riders nothing, and the Pioneers coming up on the West Coast scoreboard.
Visit your local Hydrox dealer.
Why bank at a local community bank? When you choose a local community bank, you keep money in our local economy. That money helps support local jobs, schools, and businesses. Money that helps fund a stronger and prosperous community for us all to enjoy and live in. At Platte Valley Bank, we are here to help build and support the community we love being a part of. We believe that together, we can make great things happen. Platte Valley Bank.
We can sum up McDonald's.
The lawyers and staff of the Simmons Olson Law Firm are committed to making our communities thrive.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
Bottom of the first inning, Kean Phillips on the mound against James Lehman, Garrett Esposito, and Isaiah Gibbs. A scoreless top half twirled by Brandon Ward sets the stage for the Pioneers as they try to score their first run of this series and hopefully win their first game. The weather today was pretty rainy at first, but it has stopped. The weather system is moving out of the area, and there are glimpses of blue sky off in the distance. Lehman, left-hand batter, takes a curveball away from Kean Phillips. Ball 1. Phillips from Rutgers Camden in New Jersey on the mound for the sixth start of his year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Phillips working from the stretch, deals. Fastball in at the knees for a strike. The home plate umpire today is Travis Monk, and then the familiar face of Jamie Balthazar in the field. 0-0. James Lehman, the first man up for the Pios here in inning number 1. The third baseman, LaPearl, playing in as Lehman takes down low, 2-1. Lehman so selective up there. He got one of 4 hits for the Pioneers, and like the other 3, it was just a single. He's got some power, including a home run this year. Here's the pitch. Fastball missing away. 3-1. The defense behind Phillips will be Baldwin, McClellan, and Hamry from left to right. It is Andrew LaPearl at third base, first time we've seen him this series. Mallow at shortstop. At second, Weston Miller. At first, Levensteins. The 3-1 to Lehman is swung and bounced to first. To the right side, the first baseman bails out on it. It's dove for by Miller. He gets up, throws to first, and it's too late. What an interesting play. Levenstein, the first baseman, looked to have that a couple of steps to his backhand side. But then he kind of turned around and went to cover the base. He taps his chest, looks at Kean Phillips and says, "My bad." I think he thinks he should have had that one as well. So Lehman aboard with a leadoff single here in the first. Now the man with the best walk-up music, Garrett Esposito. Esposito in his final game as a Pioneer, so a guy who's been a pleasure to work with, a pleasure to coach, and a pleasure to watch all season as he takes a called strike at the knees. He would certainly like to end his season on a bit of a higher note, though, as he's kind of fallen on some tougher times. He's been getting on base, but it's been primarily due to the base on balls. Lehman at first. Right-hander against right-hander as Phillips delivers. Swing, and there's a line drive into left field, a base hit. Much deserved and long overdue loud contact for Garrett Esposito onto second, James Lehman. And the Pioneers have something going here in the first. 2 men on with nobody out for Isaiah Gibbs. 0-0 the score. Gibbs batting right-handed. Lots of power. He was the only man yesterday to have reached twice. He singled and walks. Gibbs against Kean Phillips in his first inning of work. Gibbs waits, here's the pitch, and he swings and lofts one foul. The field is surprisingly dry considering for a while the city of Gering was awaiting a severe thunderstorm. And sorry to the folks in Scotts Bluff or the north part of Gering if it hit you, but everything's fine here. The 0-1 from the right-hander Phillips. He looks at second. Now the pitch. High and tight, 1-1. Lehman at second, Esposito at first for Gibbs. The Pioneers, after 2 batters, halfway to yesterday's hit total. No runs yet, though. So far scoreless. Gibbs looking to change that. The pitch. Swing, and there's a line drive into left field. That's going to get in there for a base hit. James Lehman immediately gets a stop sign over at third base. The left fielder Baldwin comes up throwing. And 3 straight singles for the Pioneers. The bases are loaded. So now Michael Asensio. Asensio hitless yesterday, is due for a big knock this series. And the Pioneers with something cooking here in the first. Nobody out, bases loaded. And the game's first run just 90 feet away. So now Asensio. Infield double play depth. The corners playing just behind their respective baselines. Asensio right-hand batter, lots of power as Phillips throws. And misses low with the fastball. It's been mainly the fastball for Phillips so far, unlike his teammate yesterday, Gunnar Pike. He was working a lot of changeups in there. Phillips, the right-hander, facing the right-handed Asensio, deals. And Asensio juts his hips out of the way of an inside fastball, 2-0. Bases loaded. Lehman, Esposito, and Gibbs from third to first. The pitch is a cut fastball in for a strike. It's 2-1. The Pioneers trying to draw first blood in inning number 1. They've been very successful when they've scored first. And even more when they've answered. Here's the pitch. And Asensio bounces this one back up the middle. And that's going to get into center field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Esposito rounding third. He's going to be waved home. Here comes the throw. Too late. It is cut off by Levenstein. I thought for a moment that got through. But 2 runs come in to score. And Michael Asensio gives the Pioneers an early 2-0 lead. That's the hit that the Pioneers have been waiting for. Yesterday, so elusive. And immediately, a visit from the pitching coach. 2-0 Pioneers here in the first. And 4 singles in a row. So before Brad Halleck comes up, we're going to take a look at our game stats presented by Advantage Chiropractic. Dr. Levi Bolin at Advantage Chiropractic. It's in Scottsbluff, treating all of your chiropractic needs from 0 to 100 years old, both athletes and veterans. Dr. Bolin specializes in treating your aches, pains, and injuries. Call today for an appointment and start to get back to better health. Advantage Chiropractic at 633-1425. Our game stats for Brad Halleck, that is the season's first ejection yesterday. He was hit by a pitch. The umpire said that he wasn't. He pleaded his case, albeit perhaps not as politely as he could have been. The first pitch, down and in the dirt from Kean Phillips, ball 1. 2-0 Pioneers here in the first. Still nobody out after 4 in a row have reached. Halleck, right-hander against right-hander. Lots of power. Phillips checks second where Gibbs takes his lead. The pitch. And Halleck takes. Down low, 2-0. To contextualize Halleck's ejection more, he is a guy who is very cool-headed, very mature in the box, so I guess he was just so flabbergasted and frustrated after a call like that doesn't go their way. Here's the pitch. Inside, 3-0. That was a fastball. I guess he was just so surprised and irritated, given that the Pioneers could not catch a break that whole game. And after striking out, exchanged a couple of words, and he was dismissed. Here's the pitch, and he takes an outside strike, 3-1. So, for all intents and purposes, he played the entire game yesterday, only hit by the door on his way out. 3-1. Trying to turn this game into a revolving door. The pitch is down low, ball 4. So that loads the bases. Gibbs to third, Asensio to second, and now Halleck at first with the game's first walk. The Pioneers have thoughts of a really big inning with Cam Schneider up. They already lead by a score of 2-0. And still nobody are out. This is an opportunity for yet another big frame. The Pioneers have done that a lot this year, scoring 4 or more in a frame 24 times. Here's the first pitch to Schneider. Down and away. It skips past the backhanded swipe of Guthrie, goes to the backstop, and Isaiah Gibbs scores standing up. A wild pitch. He spiked the fastball. 1 run in. Another one advances. Another 2 advance. Asensio to third and Halleck to second. So a big 180 feet. It's now 3-0 Pioneers for Schneider. Schneider, his first at-bat of the year, clean-shaven. He cut his hair a few weeks ago. The Fresno native, now clean-shaven. There's a fastball missing low, 2-0. So Phillips struggles finding the zone continue. Still nobody out. 4 singles, a walk, and a wild pitch. So now the catcher Guthrie is heading out. No action in the Rough Riders bullpen. Phillips is out there to stay. There have been occasions this year where Phillips has gotten a wild hair up his nose. He has walked 4 or more on 3 different occasions. And his command is really faltering early on in this one. Right-hander against right-hander. Phillips deals. And Schneider checks his swing on a ball missing away. 3-0. Coy Carpenter, who certainly will not expand the zone. He is on deck. Would love to come up with the bases loaded. Or better yet, the bases clear. The 3-0 pitch is down and inside, ball 4. So 4 hits have been followed up by back-to-back walks. Once again, the bases are loaded. 3-0 the Pioneers ahead here in inning number 1. Coy Carpenter, left-handed batter, is up against Kean Phillips. Kean spelled C-I-A-N. Now Coy Carpenter, left-hand batter. As we've already mentioned, the first pitch he takes down low and away, ball 1. Carpenter was hitless yesterday, although he did reach on an error. The offense was so sparse that he only got 3 at-bats. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and he takes a strike at the knees, 1-1. Asensio, Halleck, and Schneider from third to first. Still nobody out in inning number 1. 3 across already. The Pioneers poised to strike for much, much more. The pitch, down and away, 2-1. So Kean Phillips not having a good time out there. 2-1 on Carpenter. Here's the pitch, and he swings and hits one hard to the ground, past the dive of the first baseman Levenstein's into right field, base hit. 1 run scores, Halleck rounds third, he's going to score on a 2-run single from Coy Carpenter. The line keeps on moving, and it's 5-0 Pioneers, still with nobody out. So Schneider advances no further than second. Not much a need to take extra bases. That was a smash on the ground. And Levensteins, who was drawn in on the grass, trying to throw home if a ball were hit his way, he could not make the play. So Carpenter comes through. And the Pioneers have a 1,000 batting average and a 1,000 on-base percentage through the first several hitters. Here's Garrett Fisher now, who takes a strike. Right-hand batter, a slider dropping in, 0-1. 5-0 Pioneers. Fisher, the Colorado native, facing off against Phillips, also from the greater Denver area. The pitch. And Fisher hits one in the air down the right field line. Hamry gives chase toward foul ground. It is well out of play, though. And it falls. So now a right-hander is getting loose in the Rough Riders bullpen. Kean Phillips could have about as rough a start as you could possibly imagine, but now he's in a no-2 count against Garrett Fisher. Fisher catching today. He's going to be behind the plate a lot. Here's the 0-2. Up and in. That was a curveball that snapped back toward the inside corner, but it was closer to clipping Garrett Fisher than it was to the strike zone. 1-2. Schneider at second, Carpenter at first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. Curveball called, strike 3 at the knees, and Fisher knew it. So the first out of the game for the Pioneers is a called strikeout. And now Griffin Robinson. Nice job of throwing the baseball by Kean Phillips. Took him long enough to get his first out, though. Pretty tight strike zone today, doesn't help his case. Couple of walks as Griffin Robinson, another right-hand batter, takes a strike at the knees. Robinson today is wearing batting gloves. Black tape around the natural grain of his bat. 0-1. The pitch is on its way. In the dirt, knocked down by Guthrie. He keeps it close enough, and Cam Schneider with the tough read ends up scampering back to second. 5-0 Pioneers here in the first. 5 hits, 2 walks, 1 out. A chance for more. Robinson choked up. Here's the 1-1. And he swings and fouls one away, 1-2. Phillips has almost never been ahead of hitters this inning. Now a chance to punch out Robinson. James Lehman on deck. He'd be up for his second trip, unless there were a double play. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a ball in the dirt. Robinson, who reached on a drop third strike, bolted a couple of steps toward first and then realized that with the runner there and less than 2 outs, he is retired regardless. So a couple of strikeouts back-to-back for Kean Phillips, and now a chance to escape the frame without any further damage. A lot of damage done already, though. 5 across. And now James Lehman. Lehman, left-handed batter, up for his second time. A look at second. Here's the pitch. And he takes down and away with the fastball, ball one. Lehman reached on kind of a miscommunication by Chris Levenstein, the first baseman. He had a ball, what he might say was within his reach, but he bolted for the bag instead, given that it was hit to the right side. Here's the 1-0. Down and away in the dirt with the breaking ball. Nice block by Guthrie. 2-0. So the Pioneers scoring early. 2 balls, no strikes. Couple of runners still aboard, though, with 2 men out. The pitch is down low. 3-0. James Lehman, we'll see if he gets the green light. You're in a 5-0 ball game. Here's Phillips delivering, and it's down and away in the dirt, ball 4. So that loads the bases again, this time with Schneider at third and Carpenter at second. 5-0, the Pioneers way out in front here in the first inning of this one. Lehman aboard on the walk. So now it is Garrett Esposito who singled his past trip. We'd love to see his last game as a Pioneer. And with a couple more highlights. Schneider, Carpenter, and Lehman from third to first. Here's the pitch. And swing, and there's a line drive up the middle off the glove of Mallow, who swiped at it into center, a base hit. Schneider scores. Carpenter rounds third, and he's going to score. There's no throw. It's towards second base. Another single for Esposito. This one scores 2 runs, and it's 7-0 Pioneers. The hits today just keep on coming. And the Pioneers have one of their most prolific offensive innings of the year. Lehman heads towards second base, and he stops there. So Isaiah Gibbs up in a spot to keep the line moving. 7 runs, 6 hits for the Pioneers, and 3 walks. 2 on, 2 out. Asensio to follow. Gibbs, who singled in his previous trip, with Lehman at second, Esposito at first, just like last inning. The pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike at the knees. 0-1. Seven nothing here in the first. Gibbs, the Missouri native, waits. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses. Might have been the ugliest swing and miss of the day so far for Kean Phillips. For the right-hander, things could, well, it's hard to see how things could have gone worse for him this inning. The sun has come out and now shadows as Lehman goes. The pitch is taken inside. There's the throw towards second base. Standing up is Esposito, and he's tagged out. And he went in there awkwardly. He removes his helmet in frustration. Although he seems to be all right, he'll certainly like a do-over on that one. A caught stealing to end it, and the Pioneers strand them in aboard. But 7 come in to score on a total of 6 hits and 3 walks. No errors and demand left. We now head to inning number 2. 7-0, the Pioneers leading on the West Coast scoreboard.
Noah's going to get 45 seconds to 20 pitches. He's going to come first. He's got to hit past Matthew, who is our umpire for the home run derby. Noah, are you ready? He looks ready. All right, Will, don't mess this up. And go. Oh, that's all right. That's a little high. Will, strike him. What is that? Hey! You got it. You got this, dog. That's a Will. That's all, you got this, dog. All right, we got 10 seconds. 9, 4, 3, 2, 1. But straight up the middle, back up to you.
And so much more. The right insurance can help protect your family, your future, and keep your operation running in every season. Give me a call at 308-635-2023 or stop by our office in Scottsbluff.
J.G. Elliott Insurance Center, a Platte Valley company.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
Top of inning number 2, the Pioneers with a 7-0 lead as Ward's first pitch is down low to Ian Baldwin. The Pioneers with 7 runs on 6 hits and 3 walks the previous frame as Ward winds and throws, and Baldwin checks his swing. No appeal there, and he took down and away 2-0. 4, 5, 6 hitters due up after a painless first inning from Ward. Stuff's crackling today. Here's the 2-0. Fastball high and tight. So Ward has had plenty of time to rest and recover and do whatever. So now he deals his 3-0 pitch, and it is down and away ball 4. And it is called a strike. That was a vague gesture and a late one by Travis Monk, the home plate umpire. We've had some problems this week telling as the 3-1 pitch is up and in ball 4. That one a bit more obvious. The home plate umpire a couple of times this homestand has kind of conflated the gesture of a called strike and gesturing to first base. This one a bit more obvious though. Travis Monk allows Baldwin to reach on the first walk of the game by Ward. Pioneers leading 7-0 after being shut out 6-0 yesterday. Now it is Chris Levenstein's powerful right-hand hitter swings the first pitch and fouls it away. Up and out down the right-hand side. Levenstein has had extra base hits in his past couple of games. Right-hand batter balances his weight on his front and back legs, shifting it back and forth. His slightly open stance as the 0-1 is bounced back towards Ward. Could be 2. Throw to second for 1. Lehman to first. Picked out of the dirt by Asensio. Double play. A 1-6-3 double play. And that one was no easy one. Ward came off the mound off to his left. And he made a perfect throw to Lehman, a bit low actually. And Lehman quickly got rid of the ball, and Asensio with the finishing touches. So that leadoff walk erased. And now 2 are gone for Reagan Guthrie. Reagan Guthrie, right-hand batter, went 1 for 5 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts and a run batted in. The first pitch is right down 10th Street. 0-1. Brandon Ward back in rhythm after the twin killing. Plenty of run support. 7-0 the Pioneers lead. The pitch is a curveball called strike 2. And Ward a chance to punch out his third batter. There have been times where the Rough Riders have looked a bit perplexed at the curveball as the pitch comes in. Fastball high. 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on. The Pioneers, after sending 11 men to the plate in the first inning, trying to expand upon their lead. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That was a fastball on the outer part of the zone. And Guthrie was still swinging on Pacific time, a bit too late. Inning over. Ward faces the minimum, allows the walk, but erases it on a twin killing. We now head to the bottom of the second. 7-0. The Pioneers are leading on the West Coast scoreboard.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live.
Crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy. and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender, all one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in 1 word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve.
Fender bender, hailstorm, couldn't stop on the ice in time? After everyone is safe, Scottsbluff Body and Paint should be the first call you make. There isn't a better shop in the area. Our highly skilled team is experienced at performing all auto body repair and paint jobs. Stop by anytime and speak to one of our technicians, and we'll do a full inspection to show you just how little our repair services will cost you. Our work is not complete until your car is safe and you're on the road again. Call today, Scottsbluff Body and Paint, 225-6408.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
7-0, the Pioneers are leading here in inning number 2. The bottom half of it at Oregon Trail Park. Isaiah Gibbs starting things off after the runner was caught stealing. Esposito thrown out at second base as the trail runner of a double steal. 7 runs, 6 hits for the Pioneers, 6 up, 6 down, albeit a walk mixed in for the Colorado Rough Riders. Gibbs leading things off. Here's the pitch, and he takes a sweeping curveball away, ball 1. Kean Phillips back on the mound. No action in the Rough Riders bullpen. Phillips sets. Now he throws. Fastball down and in, 2-0. Phillips' main problem was falling behind the previous inning. Ended up allowing a total of 7 earned runs. As now the 2-0 comes to Isaiah Gibbs, and he swings and hits one in the air out toward right center field, hit pretty well. Over to his right, Hamries under it, battles the shadows, and the sun makes the catch. Out number 1. So now, Michael Asensio. Michael Asensio drove in 2 with the run, batting an RBI single, that is, back in that 7-run first inning. If the Pioneers' first game yesterday was an offensive nightmare, so far it's been a dream today. The pitch is down low. Asensio has hit his way up and down the lineup alike in the past couple of games. He entered yesterday with a .309 average and a very strong on-base percentage as well. Here's the 1-0. Down and in, a curveball missing, 2-0. He hasn't walked a ton, which brings me to ask the question, well, why has he gotten on base so much? He gets hit by a lot of pitches. Over a dozen this year. The 2 on the way. Way outside and low, 3-0. 1 out, nobody on after the flyout by Isaiah Gibbs. Asensio up with Halleck, who walked his previous plate trip, to follow. Phillips working from the stretch even with nobody on. Deals. And a called strike at the knees, 3-1. That's about as low as it'll go. Phillips' year is kind of an encapsulation of what the Rough Riders pitching staff has been like. Sometimes he's been fantastic or at least serviceable, as the 3-0 is swung and ripped over the leaping try of Levenstein down the right field line, base hit. Chugging around first Asensio, he will drop anchor as Hamry plays the ball as it dies near the line and throws towards second. Couple of singles and 2 straight plate trips for Michael Asensio. So now, 1 on 1 out for Brad Halleck. Halleck, big, strong right-handed batter, up against Phillips for the second time. Cam Schneider is due up next. 7-0, the Pioneers ahead. Asensio, a very conservative lead off of first base as Halleck takes the first pitch below the knees. 1-0. Infield, double play depth, not a whole lot of speed on the bases. Halleck, slightly open stance, waits, and takes up and in. 2-0. Phillips turns his shoulders before he comes set. Looks Asensio back, the 2 feet he is off the bag. Here's the pitch to Halleck, and he swings and fouls one up and out of play down the right side. It is shaping up to be a pretty pleasant evening here at Oregon Trail Park, albeit some cloud coverings approaching us from our rear. At one point, the sky was partially shrouded in clouding, about half and half, the rest of the sky in an evening blue. The pitch, up and in, 3-1. And now, the sun's starting to get low, the shadows are getting long. The parts of the ball field that are sun-splashed are washed in a lovely shade of gold. So hopefully this weather will last for the duration of this. The 3-1 is low and away, ball 4. It kicks off the glove of Guthrie, goes toward the backstop. Asensio just has to jog to second anyway, after the second walk drawn by Brad Halleck. So that's 4 walks in 2 innings for Kean Phillips. And now Cam Schneider. 7-0, the Pioneers leading here in inning number 2. All 7 runs coming in the first so far. Cam Schneider, he also walked and came in to score his previous trip. The pitch is down and in the dirt, a curveball missing. Cam Schneider, a rising freshman at Fresno State. One of a few Pioneers players yet to record a collegiate at bat. James Lehman and Aiden Orr, who has the day off today among them. Phillips kicks and deals, and Schneider takes a strike at the knees. Looks like a changeup. It's 1-1. Schneider from the Central Valley in California, in Fresno. He's played against a lot of top-tier talent in his showcase days. The pitch, way outside. Guthrie gloves it. 2-1. Seven to nothing, the Pioneers leading here in the second. Here is the pitch, and that one misses down and change up. 3-1. Schneider's so patient up there. He's been coming into his own, especially recently after a slow start. He's a guy who really is a line drive hitter, as opposed to the lift you see from a lot of bats these days. 3-1, it is off the outside, ball 4. So that loads the bases, and the line keeps moving for the Pioneers. Here in the second, 7-0, and now the head coach, Adam Miller, out from the dugout to have a conversation and possibly even lift Phillips from this game. It's been an ugly affair for him, and Phillips was ready to storm off the mound before Miller even got there. He handed him the ball, and Phillips said no, or Miller said no. Go back on the mound, let's talk about this. And that gesture should tell you enough about how Phillips has been doing today. Such a frustrating performance. And for all the damage that the Pioneers have done, they have yet to record an extra base hit this series. They got 4 singles yesterday and were shut out. They have 7 singles today and lead 7-0 in the bottom of the second. So Phillips was ready to leave, and head coach Adam Miller says, no, you're still out there. So Phillips would probably be as happy to leave the game as the Pioneers would be unhappy if he left, and now Coy Carpenter. 2 on, 1 out. Asensio at third, or the bases loaded, that is. 3 on and 1 out after Schneider drew the walk. Here's the first pitch to Carpenter, and he takes a strike at the knees. 0-1. Carpenter, a 2-run single his previous trip. Left-hand batter. Great bat-to-ball skills. The pitch way outside and low, 1-1. Asensio, Schneider, Asensio, Halleck, and Schneider from third to first. Gibbs was retired, the leadoff man, but then a single and a couple of walks. The Pioneers are back in business. Here's the pitch to Carpenter, and he swings and drives one toward center field, angling back McClellan, shading in a couple of steps. He makes the catch. Tagging at third, Asensio. He's going to come in to score. Halleck from second bluffed and then retreated back. So a sacrifice fly and the third run batted in for Coy Carpenter, and it's 8-0 Pioneers. 2 on, 2 out for Garrett Fisher now. Fisher took a called third strike his previous trip. Right-hand batter, lots of power. He's going to be asked to shoulder a huge portion of the burden, the last remaining catcher on the roster. And up against Garrett Fisher. Fisher batting right-handed. Lots of power. The first pitch is swung on and missed. A first pitch slider, and he came up empty. Right-hand batter, lots of power. As Phillips checks on second. Now the pitch. In the dirt, slider missing. Phillips initially didn't have much of an idea of where it was, but it was right at his feet as it trickled into the left-hand batter's box. Griffin Robinson would be on deck. In the meantime, Halleck is at second and Schneider is at first. A run across, 8 in the game for the Pioneers in inning number 2. The pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball to the left side, to his backhand side. Matlow lunges for it, throws low to first. It is picked out, but too late. In fact, it popped out of the glove of Levenstein's. So Garrett Fisher, not the hardest hit ball of his life, but he's aboard at first. The bases are loaded again. Now for Griffin Robinson. He wants a turn. So Fisher awarded an infield single. That was a tough play for Mallow. A third baseman by trade. He ranged far to his backhand side, planted his feet, and rather than let the ball fly and risk sailing it over the head of Levenstein, the first baseman, he bounced it, and it was too late. So Robinson in there, the first pitch in the dirt, checking his swing successfully on a big curveball. It's 1-0. Bullpen empty for the Rough Riders. They seem to be trying to cut their losses. Pioneers trying to get, at this rate, another 10-run rule finish, which, if I recall, would be their fourth or third. Here's the pitch. And a called strike to Robinson. It's 1-1. The most recent 10-run rule victory was against the Denver Cougars on the road. The 1-1 coming to Robinson, and he swings and misses over the top of fastball, 1-2. That was after they scored a season-high 22 runs. I do believe that'll be the fourth. The pitch, down and away in the dirt. Good job by Robinson to lay off. Another breaking ball, 2-2. The runners from third to first, Halleck, Schneider, and Fisher. Halleck not the fastest, but Schneider and Fisher with a lot of speed. McCollum actually is the courtesy runner for Fisher, so McCollum, for as athletic as Fisher is, McCollum's even faster. The pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3, tied him up with the fastball. Second strikeout of the day for Robinson, and the side is retired. So the Pioneers have already been through their order twice in the first 2 innings. They score 7 in the first, 1 in the second on a couple of hits and a couple of walks and a sacrifice fly. So We head to the third inning, the Pioneers leading 8-0 on the West Coast scoreboard.
That's it. Whether you're in a factory, farm, fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online.
Why bank at a local community bank? When you choose a local community bank, you keep money in our local economy. That money helps support local jobs, schools, and businesses. Money that helps fund a stronger and prosperous community for us all to enjoy and live in. At Platte Valley Bank, we are here to help build and support the community we love being a part of. We believe that together, we can make great things happen. Platte Valley Bank.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then,
giving the Rough Riders their comeuppance so far this game after their shutout loss yesterday. 8-0 they lead here in inning number 3. And Brandon Ward will head back to work. A lot of time between innings each of the past 2 frames. The Pioneers have sent a total of 18 men to the plate through the first 2 frames. So in the aggregate, they have batted around twice. Brandon Ward has retired 5 of the first 6 hitters he faced. The only one, a leadoff walk last inning, erased on a twin killing. Ward's first pitch now to the left-hand batter is a swing and a hard hit ball past the dive of Schneider out at second base into right field. So John Mallow has the Rough Riders' first hit. John Mallow, not even up long enough for me to tell you that he was batting .258. Another lefty up next, 2 straight against Ward here this inning, and it's Eddie Montoya. Pioneers 8, Rough Riders nothing. A low-stakes game so far as Ward spikes a pitch. It gets away from Fisher. He thought about firing towards second base with the runner taking off, but Mallow is in there safely. Fisher kind of stabbed at that one with his bare hand first. And if he had gotten it, I think they would have had him dead to rights, but he couldn't quite get it cleanly on the first hop, so Mallow into scoring position with nobody out. A lot of time left in this game. And the Rough Riders, who have really been skillful offensively as Montoya takes a strike. They've averaged about 7 runs a game, so this is a team that can make things close unless the Pioneers expand and sink the dagger. 1-1. The pitch to Montoya is a fastball high, 2-1. Mallow, a walking lead off of second base. Lehman in his back pocket. Here's the pitch. It is down and in, a cut fastball, and it's 3-1. So Brandon Ward still looking to attack the zone. John Mallow all but irrelevant with a 8-run Pioneers lead. A couple of checks on the runner. The pitch. Swing and a foul. And that one got a piece of Fisher, a foul tip. And Fisher taking a minute to shake this one off. It got a good solid chunk of him as he gets up and walks. I believe his belt has come undone as well, so he's going to go and get that fixed. So the home plate umpire, as per etiquette, will go out and have a word with Brandon Ward, the pitcher. Pioneers with an 8-0 lead. The Rough Riders only have one hit so far, but there's so much time left in this game that you can't break this one into the win column just yet. Pioneers trying to even the series up. They were shut out for the only time this year yesterday. And despite Connor Riggs' very best efforts in his final outing as a Pioneer, he got no run support. A couple of long balls hit against him. And the Pioneers dropped the series opener against the Rough Riders. So Fisher ready to go, a new belt. His mask once again saddled on his backward skull cap. He's ready to go. 3-2 the count on Eddie Montoya. Left-hand batter. Slightly open stance. His front heel is off the ground, indicating that all his weight's on his back. The pitch. Swinging a little soft line drive pop towards shortstop. Lehman calmly comes in a couple of steps and makes the catch. So Montoya, the first out here in the top of the third inning. A man still aboard for Andrew LaPearl. Andrew LaPearl, another right-hand batter. He's in the lineup at third base. Matlow moving to shortstop, who currently stands at the second base bag. Schneider holding him on now with the righty up. The pitch. Away, slider missing. LaPearl this year batting 176. So the number 9 hitter, a pick or poison situation between LaPearl and Nick Varda. 1-0, the pitch, very high. LaPearl does have one home run this year. 21 strikeouts to 7 walks, so he's been swinging and missing a lot. He stands very tall despite not being all that physical of a guy as he takes very high ball 3. So Ward, it might be in his best interest to just see how far he can hit one. It's an 8-0 ball game after all. The last thing I want to do as a pitcher is allow free base runners. Here's the pitch, and fastball missing high ball 4. So the second walk allowed in as many frames by Brandon Ward. And it's now the top of the lineup. Ryan's Welding, selling PJ Texas trailers in a wide variety of sizes, as well as offering a full-service welding shop. Ryan's Welding. Infield double play depth. McClellan, who struck out to start this game, in for his second shot. Right-handed batter, open stance. The first pitch is high. So Ward has really been missing up and out of the zone this frame. That fastball can be very effective if he gets the top part of the zone. But he's been having some command issues here this frame. Mallow on second. And there's a big curveball outside, not missing by a whole lot, 2-0. LaPearl at first. McClellan, a fast runner, hard to double off. Infield still trying to turn a pair, though. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, a slider, and it's 2-1. There are times this game where Brandon Ward has made some very talented hitters swing flat-footed. And a couple of times this game that's been McClellan. The 2-1. Called a strike on the outside. He checked his swing at a fastball, but he was rung up anyway, and it's 2-2. Deuce is wild here in the third. 2 on, 2 out. Or 2 on, 2-2, 1 out. The pitch. Curveball way outside, 3-2. So Ward now in a spot where he's trying to avoid loading the bases. This game is far from over, despite the Pioneers leading by a score of 8-0. Ward from the stretch, first base side of the rubber. Payoff is swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him to chase the high fastball. So it took a few times for McClellan to want to chase that pitch, but in the end he does. Second strikeout for him and the fourth for Brandon Ward. 2 on, 2 out now for Weston Miller. Miller 0 for 1 with a strikeout of his own. Mallow still at second, LaPearl at first. 7 in the first, 1 in the second for the Pioneers. They hope to keep adding on and wrap this one up in about 7 innings if they had their way. Ward's first pitch is a big curveball, ruled a bit downstairs. That's a nasty pitch. It starts as though it's going to whistle in at about shoulder height, then drops below the knees. Just filthy. Infield's now playing back for Miller, the righty. Here's the pitch, and he takes a fastball with some cut, but it's upstairs. It's 2-0. So this is turning into a pretty long inning for Brandon Ward, and an unwelcome one considering the Pioneers' pitching depth beginning to wither. Couple of injuries, a couple of guys leaving. The pitch is high. 3-0. I reiterate that Ward does not want to lose him in an 8-0 ball game as he pitches. And he gets a called strike, a belated call from Travis Monk. 3-1. Mallow at second, LaPearl at first. Nobody holding them on with a whole lot of conviction. Under the circumstances, not that much of a risk that they'll run either. The pitch. Slider up and away, ball 4. Ward kind of exhales frustratedly. And now Garrett Fisher will come out and have a word with Ward with the bases now loaded. That's his third walk allowed in 3 innings. His second this frame, and now Marcus Hamry is up, and he hit a home run this series already, and in a spot where he can literally cut the deficit in half with one swing. It's 8-0, but a grand slam cuts it to 8-4. So all of a sudden, this is a bit of a stressful situation for Ward. The Pioneers also looking to add on against Kean Phillips. This is Ward's game at this point, though. No action in the Pioneers' bullpen. Marcus Hamry, the big, strong lefty, up against Ward in his second trip. The first pitch is swung and belted out toward left field. Starting back now, coming in, Garrett Esposito reaches up and makes the two-handed catch. About chest high, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, no errors, and the bases stranded, left loaded by the Colorado Rough Riders. We now head to the bottom of the third. Still 8-0 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in 1 word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve the budget. Whether you're in a factory, farm fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online today.
Wells Fargo. The Pioneers dominating the early portions of this game. The score is 8-0 heading into the last of the third. James Lehman already with his third plate appearance, and Kean Phillips back on the mound. He's just trying to eat some innings now. The Rough Riders trying to conserve their pitching depth, trying to see Phillips' outing to conclusion. Lehman, left-hand batter, singled and walked. The first pitch down and away, ball 1. Looks like the changeup, and so far it's really only been the fastball that Phillips has been reliably able to land for a strike. Left-hander Lehman reached twice this game. The pitch on the way. He checks his swing on a ball that's called a strike at the knees anyway, 1-1. James Lehman, the redshirt freshman out of Wofford, and taken at bat last year. Teammates with Logan Tribble, who was with the Pioneers for a brief tenure. The pitch is called a strike. It's 1-2. Tribble's tenure was rather brief. He was here for a few games, and he ended up getting hurt and shut down. There have been a couple of instances of that for the Pioneers. A couple of noteworthy ones. The 1-2 to Lehman. Curveball up and away. Guthrie popped up out of the crouch and was just about ready to throw it around the horn, and I do think that Travis Monk, the home plate umpire, was just as confused as Lehman seemed to be. 2-2, nobody out, nobody on here in the third. The kick and pitch, down and away, 3-2. So Lehman catches a break, and now he's works it full. Here's the set. And the 3-2 pitch is swung and fouled straight back. Lehman took a big swing at that one. And do you think that was the ball that had his second home run written all over it? His one home run this year was to the opposite way. With some wind behind it, he popped one out just a couple of weeks ago. A payoff pitch on its way. And he swings and drills one into right field. Racing in and playing it on a bounce is Hamry. It's a base hit for Lehman, his second of the day, and his third time on base. So Lehman has been really improving his line through the first portion of this game. And now Garrett Esposito looking to do the same. Esposito, big, strong, left-hand batter. He's not that tall, but he's very athletic. Newly committed to the University of Indianapolis, very close to his hometown in Indiana. Runner at first, no one out. Esposito checks a swing on a ball that clips off the foot or shin guard or something of Guthrie. It kicks very sharply toward the third base dugout like a pinball, and Lehman trots into second base. Esposito, one hit in his past 3 games up until now. He's gotten a couple, and a single here could mean a run. Lehman away from second as Phillips kicks and deals. Swing, and there's a high fly ball to center field, hit pretty well. McClellan ranging back, settles underneath it. He makes the catch, tagging at second, Lehman. He's going to head for third. Here comes the throw. On one hop, it's a high hop, and it's too late anyway. Lehman in at third with a head first slide. So Esposito makes some pretty solid contact and then ends up making a productive out. Pioneers leading 8-0 here in the last of the third. And Isaiah Gibbs, another productive out, could mean run number 9. Gibbs today has singled, watched helplessly as a runner was caught stealing, and he's also flown out. The pitch off the inside corner, ball 1. So 2 plate trips, and Gibbs is 1 for 2. Entering the series, batting .360. Here's the pitch. Swing and a shot off of the pitcher, Phillips, kicking out toward the first base side. There will be no play. Phillips is already, gets up and slides to try to surround it, but nobody was covering first. A scary moment for Kean Phillips. That one was just a bullet from one of the Pioneers' strongest hitters. So now Adam Miller is going to come out and just check in on him. That one caught him very flush. So Gibbs ends up getting accredited with a run-scoring single. Lehman comes in, and it's 9-0 Pioneers. A man out, a man at first for Asensio now. So Jamie Balthazar and Travis Monk meeting to make sure that this is in fact not a second mound visit. The head coach, Adam Miller, was out there to start the inning, just talking things over with Kean Phillips. It's no secret that he's struggled today. He's in his third inning, and well, he's allowed 9 runs. So now, Michael Asensio. Asensio, much like his 3 predecessors, already has 2 hits today, including a couple of runs batted in. Step off throw to first, and Gibbs dives back in safely. Not really a running situation for Gibbs, although he has not been thrown out yet when he's tried to attempt to steal. Slide step in the pitch. Swinging a broken bat roller foul up the third base line, out of play. Asensio looks down ruefully at his blue wooden bat, walks toward the dugout, and yeah, he'll have to get a new piece of wood. Brad Halleck, standing in the on-deck circle, knows a thing or two about that. So, Asensio exchanges the white and blue piece of lumber for a bat in all black. The Pioneers have scored in every inning, with the Lions' share of their 9 runs coming in the first 7. At this point, the Rough Riders have yet to score a single run of their own, so it's 9-0. Infield a double play depth, swing and a jam shot, hit very softly out toward shortstop. Charged by Mallow, he barehands, throws to first in time. Asensio, who does not run all that well, retired on what ends up being a nice play by the shortstop Mallow. Gibbs moves into scoring position though, and now Brad Halleck. Halleck, and the man to follow, Cam Schneider, has walked twice. 9-0 the Pioneers. 1 more run, putting the game in 10-run rule territory. Halleck, big, strong right-hand batter. Phillips deals and gets a low strike call, 0-1. Halleck, a new transfer to Concordia University in Seward, Nebraska, as the 0-1 is a curveball called a strike. Bit generous that time, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. A look at second. On the way. Curveball swung on and hit foul. Nine to nothing, the Pioneers leading, and now, after what appeared to be a cross-up, the catcher Guthrie out to have a word with the rising freshman Kean Phillips. Phillips about to matriculate at Rutgers Camden, just having graduated Wheat Ridge High School in Colorado. Wheat Ridge is the Rough Riders' home field, and that is where head coach Adam Miller got this particular recruit. Gibbs at second and an 0-2 count on Halleck. Here's the pitch, and he takes away outside and low. One and two. One across on a couple of knocks here in the third. Here's the pitch. And Halleck swings and drives one deep to left field, down the line. Baldwin racing over. Near the line, he reaches up and makes the catch as he straddles the chalk. And the inning is over. Halleck is a little bit out in front, and he misses just underneath. And the Pioneers score one, but strand one. We now head to the top of the fourth inning. It is 9-0. The Pioneers out in front on the West Coast scoreboard.
Bottom of the third, there was 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. The score now, Rough Riders 0, and your Pioneers 9.
Your vehicle's health in targeted areas, as well as pinpoint simple maintenance procedures to avoid costly repairs down the road. Also receive reminders for important services and book online. It's paperless, quick, and convenient at Russell's Automotive, Scotts Bluff.
It takes a lot to run your business, and a lot has changed. What hasn't changed is the professional partnership with your business in E&H CPAs and Management Consultants. When you include our team, we will develop a plan to assist you with your accounting, tax planning, valuation services, and even litigation support and exit planning. Then you can focus on day-to-day responsibilities. Troy Hilliard will guide your business into the future. E&H CPAs and Management Consultants PC. Innovative, trusted, proven. 308-633-6800.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
Ward back to work in his fourth frame. Once again, his margin to work with grows ever larger. It is 9-0 on 10 Pioneers hits. Here in the fourth, it'll be Baldwin, Levensteins, and Guthrie, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. The sun is beginning to set here in Gering, and the clouds high overhead, as the sky clears, are turning a nice shade of pink. If you look high enough overhead, you'll see them, as the first pitch is hit off the end of the bat, popped foul down the right field line. Not a healthy piece of contact for Baldwin. He walked and was doubled off of second base as part of a twin killing in inning number 2. Here's Ward, winding and throwing. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Garrett Fisher, strike 2. Baldwin has some power from the right side. Cleanup man, here's the 0-2, and a hanging curveball, an emergency swing, and a ball hit foul out of play down the right side. Asensio with the chase, but it's well out of his reach. And I say that Baldwin has some power because he's really not that big of a guy, very athletic. And he also wears his pants as he takes... Oh, he was walking back to the dugout on a slider that missed somewhere high, maybe 1-2. Baldwin wears his pants pulled high up over his knees. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball up the middle. Far to his left, Lehman has it. With his momentum gathered, he fires to first in time. Nice play, James Lehman. Out number 1 here in the fourth. Pioneers leading 9-0 is now Chris Levensteins. Levensteins bounced into a double play his previous trip, facing Ward his second time. Ward's first pitch is downstairs. One out, nobody on. Levensteins has 4 home runs this year as he swings at one and hits one high in the air out toward right center field, medium deep. Far to his right, Isaiah Gibbs makes the call and the catch. A couple of quick outs and what would be a welcome quick inning for Brandon Ward. The Pioneers, with a 9-0 lead, they'll try to extend that margin to double digits in the next frame. The first pitch now to Reagan Guthrie is swung on and missed, strike 1. Guthrie doing the catching today. Saw him yesterday. We did not see him on the road when the Pioneers visited Denver, as there is a curved ball missing down. 1-1. Might have been the slider, actually. Guthrie went 1 for 5 yesterday with the run batted in and a couple of Ks. Infield's playing back the pitch. Big curveball called a strike. Guthrie, the catcher, with a grimace on his face as he disputes it with Travis Monk. 1-2. Ward winds and throws. Swinging and a ball popped in the air, out beyond second base into shallow right. Schneider going out, backpedaling now, makes the catch to retire to the side. So right what Brandon Ward needed to get his efficiency back on track. 1, 2, 3 go the Colorado Rough Riders as the Pioneers with the commanding 9-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth on the West Coast scoreboard.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then, also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve the budget. Whether you're in a factory, farm fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online today.
Local 5-star lender with Castle and Cook Mortgage for a simple, friendly, and fast loan process for your home purchase or refinance. Contact Jennifer today. Castle and Cook Mortgage, the key to your castle. 9-0 the Pioneers. Way out in front. They tried to score in their 4th straight frame with Schneider, Carpenter, and Fisher. Schneider has not needed to take the bat off his shoulders today with a couple of walks and 1 run scored. The Pioneers scored 7 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. Another one would put the game into 10-run rule territory as early as the 7th inning, or earlier if both managers consent to it. That's the real rule, though, is 10 after 7. Schneider, righty on righty, new pitcher on the mound, and there's a called strike at the knees. It's 1-1. It is Cannon Frost. Frost, the right-hander, on in relief of a beleaguered Kean Phillips. And after 1 pitch, couldn't get on the same page as Guthrie, the catcher. Guthrie goes out to have a chat. So that gives us a little bit of a moment to talk about Frost. His last outing was against the Pioneers. And as far as pitching goes, it was not all that memorable for him. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 9 batters faced. He allowed 2 earned runs, 3 hits, and he struck out a pair. Frost, righty on righty against Schneider, the pitch. And he takes a big swing and fouls it straight back, 0-2. Inning number 4 at Oregon Trail Park. Game 2 of 3 in this 3-game series. The Pioneers, after their shutout yesterday, have rebounded their offense in spectacular fashion. The 0-2, big curveball off the inside. Schneider was backing out of the way of it. Infield playing back and straight away against the right-handed batting Cam Schneider. The 1-2. And he takes an off-balance swing and pops one in the air on the infield grass, charging in and dropping the ball to Pearl. He made the call, even waving off the shortstop Mallow. And he came racing over from third base, reaching out, and it hit off the very end of his glove. So Schneider issued a free base on the game's first error. Nine 0 Pioneers here in the 4th. So now it'll be Coy Carpenter. Carpenter has driven in 3 despite having only 1 official at bat. He has singled to score a pair, and he's hit a sac fly. The first pitch, slide step, way down and inside with a fastball. 1-0. Cannon Frost this year a 9.77 earned run average and a 2.5 whip. Here's the pitch to Carpenter, and he swings and grounds one to first. Knocked down by Levensteins. He smothers it and his only play is at first as a result. A 3 unassisted on the play that was made. Schneider advances to second. Garrett Fisher up now with a fast runner in scoring position in a 9-0 ball game. That was a play that I'm sure Levensteins would do over. Just because if he fields it cleanly, there's a chance for him to step on the bag and then throw to second, or throw to second and cover first for a double play chance. Not saying that it would be easy nor expected, but that's the idea of execution if you're there at first base. Now Garrett Fisher, he takes in the dirt. Schneider freezes trying to read that one, and he ends up going back to second. That's what you're supposed to do. Garrett Fisher 1 for 2 today with a single that did not leave the infield. Slide step in the pitch. Fastball outside. 2-0. Fisher facing Frost. Here's the pitch. Swinging and a pop foul. Garrett Fisher was arguably the greatest contributor to the Pioneers' 16-12 win coming on Thursday against this Rough Riders team. It was in the offensive confines of the home of the Colorado Rough Riders in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. The ball was flying, and Garrett Fisher was everywhere. He was playing second base, got a bunch of hits, made a huge defensive play as he takes a fastball high, 3-1. And so, I'm sure the Rough Riders were thinking, well, great, now we have to face this guy for 3 more games. And Fisher, to this point, has obliged the pitch. Called a strike, and it's 3-2. A bit dubious on the outside corner. Fisher kind of cocks his head as though he wasn't so sure about it. 3-2. Schneider at second. 1 man out. Pioneers 9. Rough Riders nothing. Goose eggs for the first 4 innings from Brandon Ward. The pitch. Swing, and there's a high drive to left field. Hit very well. Baldwin goes back, and he reaches up on the warning track and makes the catch. Schneider was almost all the way at third base. Baldwin lobs the throw towards second. Too late. But a spectacular play by Ian Baldwin out there. He kind of spun around, and as he made that turn, backpedaled and made the catch on the edge of the warning track. I thought that Fisher had that one. And maybe on a day where the wind was blowing out toward left field, he would have. Runner at second, 2 out for Griffin Robinson, looking for his first hit as he takes a low strike. 0-1. Seven in the first and 1 in each of the past 2 frames. The Pioneers trying to further that trend with a run to make it 10-0 in the fourth. The pitch. Fastball high, 1-1 to Griffin Robinson. Robinson is one of 8 Pioneers players to have found a new home. Once at Lakeland University. Here's the pitch. Called a strike. It's 1-2. Once at Division III Lakeland, he has since moved to the University of Dallas, where he and Dylan Kraus will become teammates. Right-hand batter choked up the pitch, and he reaches for a breaking ball and barely hits it foul. James Lehman moves over from the on-deck circle to get it from near the backstop. Robinson's had for himself a pretty good year. Certainly not this game representative of it. Now there is a ball, curveball, and Griffin Robinson was started toward the dugout. He thought he was rung up and he thought he was wearing the hat, but apparently it missed inside. So pretty much everyone's surprised. The pitch is off the outside corner, 3-2. Both of those pitches were reasonably close. I think Robinson got locked up on the first one. And on that second one, a pretty consistent strike call, although it wouldn't surprise me for any umpire to make a makeup call there. The payoff is swung and missed strike 3, so Robinson ends up going down for the third time anyway. First strikeout of the game for Cannon Frost. The Pioneers get a man in scoring position, but they are hitless. Cam Schneider reaching on an error and being left aboard. Heading now to the 5th inning, 9-0. The Pioneers are out in front on the West Coast scoreboard.
All right, so we're bringing back a favorite musical chairs. This time we have adults and teenagers. We have Avery, Lily, Tommy, Marty, and Teresa. And are you guys ready? They say, yeah, Sam, are you ready up there with the music? And you guys can start walking. And Teresa is all right, got 3 chairs. You guys can keep on walking. Keep going, Lily. And Marty is out. We are down toward final 2. Lily and Tommy. Oh, you got the race here. I good. Tommy's got it. And Tommy does. Back to you, Bill. All right, thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Top Order Company.
Organ donor, or if you have someone in need of an organ transplant, visit MatchingDonors.com. Home of the greatest gift of all, the gift of life. MatchingDonors.com.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
John Mallow, the left-hand batting shortstop today, leads off against Brandon Ward, who deals, and a fastball a bit above the belt, called ball 1. The Pioneers have been held scoreless for the first time this game the past inning. They lead 9-0, though, here in the 5th, as there's a swing and a miss over the top of fastball. Strike 1. John Mallow with the only hit of the day against Brandon Ward. He strides in again, and the 1-1 buckles his knees, bending it back with a curveball called to strike 2. That's just gross. It looked like that Mallow was trying to avoid a shoulder-high tree branch. The 1-2 from Ward is a fastball swung and fouled away. Off-speed pitches at times have really been the bane of the Rough Riders' existence. It seems as though they always guess. When they guess right and they make contact, the ball tends to go a long way. 1-2 from Ward is swung and ripped toward center field. Racing in Coy Carpenter. He dives and makes the catch. What a play by Carpenter. And Ward pumps his fist. Gesture of affirmation and approval out toward his center fielder. 1 gone here in the 5th. So now Eddie Montoya. Montoya has had 1 at bat on which he's popped out to the shortstop, James Lehman. First pitch is a curveball missing somewhere, ball 1. Travis Monk, a bit smaller of his own than we've seen from a guy like Jamie Balthazar. Here's the pitch. And a fastball misses down. 2-0. And I'm sure this is preferable for the hitters and preferable overall for the Pioneers, but there have been a couple of calls in and close to the zone that were not given. There's a cut fastball missing high. 3-0. Even when Ward has been around the zone, it has not earned him any leeway from Monk today. Monk, the 3-0, is down and inside ball 4. So 4 real close pitches, but Montoya works a walk. Number 4 of the game for Brandon Ward. So now you just challenge the guy with Andrew LaPearl up. Pioneers leading 9-0. Not the time to start walking guys. No one more mindful of that than Brandon Ward. Andrew LaPearl, who walked and was stranded aboard his previous at-bat, as Ward throws. And he kind of backs away from a slider, and I think that might have costed Ward a strike. Not much of a reference point when your guy bails out and the frame of reference is all askew. Montoya leads away from first. Now the pitch. High and tight. That's 6 straight balls now from Brandon Ward. Action in the Pioneers bullpen. Seeing just who is getting loose out there. Ward sets. After a big breath, he throws. And a fastball misses low and away. He's having a bit of trouble here. 3-0 to LaPearl. LaPearl, despite hitting below 180, has walked already today. Here in the 5th, he'd be more than happy to get a second trip on base for free. Here's the 3-0. Called a strike on the outside corner. 3-1. Four walks, 1 hit for the Rough Riders so far. The 3-1 on the way. Swing and a miss over the top of fastball. 3-2. So Ward seems to have the idea that he should just challenge him. Nothing Pioneers here in the 5th. A lot of game left ahead of us. Ward throws the payoff and misses low ball 4. So back-to-back walks will earn Ward a visit from the pitching coach, Tyson Ellis. Ellis giving him a talking to get it back into the zone, maybe just giving him a breath. Fifth inning, 9-0 the Pioneers leading. Floyd's Truck Center, your commercial, farm, and feed truck center, representing Freightliner, Western Star, and Harsh. Located at 322 South Beltline Highway, Eastern Scottsbluff, Floyd's Truck Center. The Pioneers well on their way to getting their 3rd win of the homestand in the books. They lead by a score of 9-0. They are at the beginning of a stretch of 13 straight games of baseball. The big road trip of the year, a 7-day road stand coming up in the state of Kansas. That begins this Friday. They will pay a visit, the Pioneers will, to the Hayes Larks, Liberal BJs, and then the Dodge City A's. 3 of the most talented teams, once in the Jayhawk League, since moved to the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Trying to get some momentum with a series win, they hope, as now play ready to resume. Caleb McClellan, leadoff man, swings at the first pitch and hits one high in foul ground, and it carries out of play down the first baseline. McClellan 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts against Ward. Montoya at second, LaPearl at first after back-to-back walks. The Pioneers, after getting shut out yesterday, hoping to give the Rough Riders a taste of their own medicine as Ward steps off. McClellan, a speedy right-hand batter, has some power as Ward steps off, and again he wants a visit with Garrett Fisher. Just trying to get on the same page, we hope. Hopefully Ward is not trying to buy some time and stall, or that he's not hurt. It's only Ward's second start of the year. And so far, Ward has not gone any more than 5 innings. He's gone that length twice this year. Once against the Cougars and once against the North Platte Plainsmen. Interspersed with a couple of 1-inning or 2-inning relief outings. 0-1, the count on McClellan. One out, infield double play depth, the pitch. And a big curveball pops out of his hand and misses high. Just trying to get through the 5th. It does look like that Ward is beginning to tire up there. Here's the set. And the pitch. Fastball high, 2-1. So Ward really at the end of his rope, it seems. Couple of men ready to go in the bullpen. And it looks like Dale Fry, who's getting stretched out, the lanky right-hander. Here's the 2-1. Outside. That one not missing by much, 3-1. Runners at first and second. A force at any square base. The 2-1. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Fisher, 3-2. Montoya and LaPearl, the 8-9 hitters, take their leads as the leadoff man McClellan tries to avoid a third strikeout. Ward kicks and deals. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A fastball with some cut. So Ward battles back and picks up his 5th strikeout. So McClellan, a troubling day for him in their batter's box. Ward has 5 strikeouts and McClellan is 3 of them.
Next up, second baseman, tonight's K-Man, number 1, Wesley Miller.
Even if you struggle, which is bound to happen in the game of baseball, if you're the leadoff man, it certainly tends to have a disproportionate effect. As now Weston Miller, batting right-handed, strides in. The first pitch, called a strike. Now the zone opens up just a little bit now that Ward has started to find the zone more consistently. 9-0 Pioneers here in the top of the 5th. 2 on, 2 down. The pitch to Miller with the runner at second, Montoya creeping away. The pitch. Swing and a miss. A high fastball. Miller chased. He does not do that very often. 0-2. The crowd that is filled in after the rain subsided on their feet. Here's the 0-2. Curveball missing high. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The count on Weston Miller, the second baseman, tapping his front foot, waits as Ward deals. Swing and a foul. Looked like he had him beat with the fastball, but a late swing attempt. Miller somehow spoils it to stay alive. Still 1-2. The crowd stomps their feet, bangs their cowbells in anticipation. Here's the 1-2 again. Spiked in the dirt, picked out nicely by Fisher. 2-2. Marcus Hamry on deck. You would not like to face him with the bases loaded for a second time, especially after he's homered in the past couple of games against the Pioneers. The big pitch coming to Weston Miller. Here's Ward throwing, swing and a pop-up down the right field line in foul ground. Asensio giving chase, still going. He reaches out and he did not make the play. It lands in foul ground near the bullpen. That view from the box is obscured by the big pole that holds up the netting with about 2.5 feet of diameter. So we didn't see if that ball came down or not. Still 2-2. A nice battle from Weston Miller, the at-bat of the day for sure for the Colorado Rough Riders. Two and two again. Ward looks in, gets the sign from Garrett Fisher. Here's the set. The pitch again. Curveball called, strike three. That when he lands the big hook. Brandon Ward notches his 6th strikeout, and the side is retired. A couple of walks, a couple of men stranded. Heading now to the last of the 5th. We're halfway done at Oregon Trail Ballpark. Unless the Pioneers can cut this one short by way of a 10-run rule, they lead 9-0 on the West Coast scoreboard.
All to enjoy and live in. At Platte Valley Bank, we are here to help build and support the community we love being a part of. We believe that together, we can make great things happen. Platte Valley Bank.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it.
Ward works his way out of a bit of warm water back in the previous frame. Here in the last of the 5th, it is going to be the top of the lineup, Lehman, Esposito, and Gibbs, due up against Cannon Frost. Lehman batting left-handed. The Pioneers leading 9-0. The first pitch is swung on and missed. Lehman has singled twice and walked, scoring twice as well. The Pioneers with 7 runs in the first, sending 11 men to the plate. Kean Phillips still went out there for a couple more frames, though, as Lehman swings and misses, strike 2. The Pioneers sent 18 men up in the first 2 frames. A bit surprising to note that they haven't scored more than 1 in an inning since that first. Here in the 5th, Lehman waits as Frost delivers. Change up outside, 1-2. The final line for Kean Phillips was very unsightly. He allowed 8 hits. The pitch is a swing and a foul down the left field line out of play. 8 hits, 9 runs all earned, 5 walks, and 3 innings pitched, striking out 3. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul again. A late swing at a fastball. Still 1-2. Astoundingly enough, the Pioneers have only had singles this game. Singles and walks. And the occasional error. They have not had an extra base hit in this series. Here's the 1-2. Inside, and it hits him. Nice job by Lehman to fight off just enough. Stay alive long enough to induce a mistake that earns him a free base. Leadoff man aboard here in the 5th. 9-0, the Pioneers ahead. As now it'll bring up Garrett Esposito. Esposito, in his final game as a Pioneer, is 2 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in and a run scored. The Indiana native just heading home after this one. I want to take a moment and talk to you a bit about the kind of person that Garrett is. Just because it's so often that you have wonderful personalities overlooked on the baseball field. Lehman at first, nobody out. Esposito is a guy who makes working as a broadcaster much, much easier. The first pitch, a slide step. Esposito swings and misses, strike one. So it's really sad to see him go because always a guy who is personable off the field. Not standoffish in any respect, very gregarious. Slide step in the pitch. Reach for and a changeup hit foul, nothing in two. So, University of Indianapolis, a Division II school, will be getting a Division II ball player and a Major League human being. Lehman at first, nobody out. 9-0 the Pioneers ahead, the 0-2. Foul tip, and it does not stick in the glove of Guthrie. It pops out as he pounds his leather in disgust. He thought he should have had that. 0-2. Once more to Esposito is Frost as he sets. Slide step in the pitch. Curveball hit foul. Frost is very quick to home plate with runners on base. Really messes with your timing as a hitter. Messes up your perception of where the ball is at a given moment. Esposito very relaxed up there. Lots of power. Here's the 0-2, and he fouls another one off. Now, Frost barely came set there. I don't even know if he did pause. No balk called, though. Lehman heads back to first after the foul ball. Infield, a double play depth. The third baseman, LaPearl, just kind of wandering around out there. The first baseman, Levenstein's holding on Lehman. Lehman, the 10th run, very important for the Pioneers. Here's the pitch, fastball high. Nice take by Esposito, 1-2. Only because once you get that 10th run with the 10-0 lead, you'd have the opportunity to just throw 2 more clean innings and be done with it. The high set. Slide step in the pitch. In the dirt, it kicks away from Guthrie, who picks it up over off the third base side of the home plate circle of dirt. On the play, Lehman advances to second. So a couple of wild pitches this game. Two and two. Esposito has worked the count even. The assignment changes with a runner at second and nobody out. Get him over, get him in. The pitch. Called, strike 3, a changeup. First one of those that Esposito has seen. So he's locked up for Frost's second strikeout. Now Isaiah Gibbs. 9-0 the Pioneers out in front here in the 5th. It looks like that Dale Fry is ready to go out there, so it's likely that he'll come in for the 6th and so on. Now Gibbs, right-hand batter. 2 for 3 today with the flyout. The pitch. Big curveball, called a strike, a bit generous there. 0-1. Cannon Frost on the mound in relief of Ken Phillips in his second inning of work. A man at second, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss over the top of curveball. So Frost has just made that his primary pitch. 0-2 to the very talented Isaiah Gibbs. Gibbs from William Woods University, a student of the game. The 0-2. Swing and a ball reached for and hit softly foul toward Michael Asensio, who snags it out of thin air in the on-deck circle. Lehman at second. 9-0 the Pioneers are leading. Michael Asensio due up next. A couple of checks on second from the righty Frost. Here's the pitch. Curveball, and that one's ripped into left center field. That's going to be a base hit. Rounding third and coming in to score, James Lehman. Over to cut it off, the center fielder McClellan, who fires it in towards second. Isaiah Gibbs drives in the Pioneers' 10th run of the day. And that is the margin by which they lead. Second run batted in for Gibbs. He is now 3 for 4, and he continues to torment the Rough Riders in this season series. So now Michael Asensio. He too enters this at bat 2 for 3. Same did Gibbs before that run-scoring single. 10-0 Pioneers as Gibbs leads away from first, and Asensio takes up high, ball 1. 10 runs, 11 hits with the help of 1 Rough Riders error. No runs, 1 hit only. Many men stranded aboard. The pitch way outside. 2-0. Michael Asensio has been kind of on again, off again recently, but that's not saying much considering that pretty much everybody on the Pioneers was shut down yesterday. The pitch outside again, 3-0. Couple of fastballs, and Frost a bit less confident in that after Gibbs pieced him up. 1 out, a man at first. Brad Halleck waiting out on deck. The pitch to Asensio. Down and away, ball 4. So 4 pitches and a walk for Asensio. First of the game for Frost, the 6th of the game for the Pioneers. On the play, Gibbs second. Still only with one out for Brad Halleck. Brad Halleck, big, strong right-handed batter, has walked twice, scored once, and flown out to the warning track. The first pitch called a strike at the knees, a perfectly placed slider, 0-1. The Pioneers, with a 10-run lead, have scored in all but 1 of the first 5 frames. The man on deck, Cam Schneider. The pitch, curveball in the dirt, smothered by Guthrie, keeps it near him. Neither runner, Gibbs nor Asensio, advances. Lehman was hit by a pitch. He came around and scored. A single and a walk. After that, there's a called strike. It's 1-2. Brad Halleck letting that away pitch go by. As is per usual, his power comes middle of the plate in. Cannon Frost, the righty, deals. Curveball called, strike 3, and Brad can't believe it as he walks back. He's a bit frustrated. He's like, yeah, that one was outside. Third strikeout for Cannon Frost. So 10-0 the Pioneers with a couple of runners on for Schneider, who has walked twice and reached on an error. A lot of free passes as the first pitch is upstairs, ball 1. A lot of free passes issued in a lot of different capacities by the Rough Riders. Gibbs away from second as Asensio is at first. The pitch is off the outside. 2-0. Coy Carpenter on deck would be next. Schneider, the Fresno, California native. Strides in, slightly closed right-hand batting stance. Lots of power, a line drive hitter though. Waits, and the pitch misses low, 3-0. Couple of walks for Schneider, 1 free pass to Asensio this inning. A lot of base on balls taken. There have been 6 issued by the Rough Riders. 1 pitch away from number 7. The 3-0 drops in there with a changeup, 3-1. 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Pioneers. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for the Rough Riders. Brandon Ward's outing is likely concluded. Here's the pitch. Down and away, slider missing, ball 4. That loads the bases. Cam Schneider has reached base 4 times, thrice by way of the walk. So now Coy Carpenter, a chance to put yet another nail in a coffin that's already 5 to 6 feet underground. The Pioneers lead 10-0. A chance to 10-run rule this one with a couple of shutout frames to come. Here's the pitch. And Carpenter swings and hits one foul, the low changeup. 0-1. A turbulent second inning of work here in the 5th. The 4th was painless for Ken and Frost, relatively speaking. Here in the 5th, less the case. The pitch to Carpenter. Inside, nearly hits him, a slider missing. Pretty good crowd considering the time of week, the time of day, and the weather. The 1-1 swung on, and there's a line drive base hit center field. Gibbs trots home, coming to third. Asensio, he's going to be waved home. The throw is way off the mark. It goes all the way to the backstop, and both runners will advance up an extra base. Another 2-run single for Coy Carpenter, and it's 12-0 Pioneers. So the error will go against the center fielder McClellan. He aired it out. We knew that he has a good arm, but he uncorked a throw, a beautiful throw, marred only by the fact that it almost went into the dugout. So now runners at second and third. A brief mound visit from head coach Adam Miller. The Pioneers have changed the narrative completely after being shut out yesterday. They have now scored a dozen. 3 runs across here in the 5th, and they're looking for more, with Garrett Fisher, the man up to the plate. So Coy Carpenter now has 5 of the 12 runs for the Pioneers. Fisher, 1 for 3 today, looking to drive home another couple. Runners at second and third, 2 men out, with Robinson on deck. Runners at second and third, 2 men out. Here's the first pitch. It is swung on and missed, strike 1, right by Garrett Fisher. Schneider at third, Carpenter at second. A single drove in a couple, and then a very wild throw to wind up in the pitch. In the dirt, it kicks away from the catcher. A late break for the plate from Schneider. The throw to the pitcher covering is offline. It zips right past Frost. It goes all the way out toward third base. And I do think that they had a real chance to get Schneider. That was a late break. But he comes in to score on another wild pitch. Carpenter goes to third, and it's 13-0 Pioneers. So they score 4 so far in the 5th. The 26th time that they've scored 4 or more in a frame this year. The big inning has always been there, almost always, when the Pioneers have needed it. Garrett Fisher, 1-1 the count. Here's Frost winding and throwing. Swing and a miss. Power to fastball by him. Not often you can get the heater past a man like Garrett Fisher. 1-2. Frost working with some urgency right as Fisher gets settled. He winds and throws. Curveball in the dirt, smothered this time by Guthrie. 13-0 the Pioneers leading. 2-2 the count on Fisher with Robinson waiting in the wings. Two and two the count to Fisher. Here's the pitch, and he takes outside. A good take there that hasn't been there. And it's 3-2. Carpenter at third, just 90 feet away from the 14th run of the day. Here's the payoff pitch to Fisher, and he lofts one in the air out toward right center field. It is McClellan ranging over. He makes the catch rather uneventfully, and the side is retired. But the Pioneers get 4 more. They strain to 5th over at third base. They lead 13-0 heading into the 6th on the West Coast scoreboard.
And your Pilots 13. And I think it's time for the Highland Hustle presented by Pepsi. Let's head down the road on the first base side to tell us what's going on. Okay, so we got Karen Lane at first base, Nova at second base. We got Hiram. So we got Hiram off the right. We got Ray to third right and go. We go 3, 2, 1, go. Go. Hiram, you going? Go. Hiram, coming right at me. Hiram, you're supposed to go to third base. Come right at me. There is a winner! Behind you the wrong way! Go to third base! Bill, back to you. We want to take that to you.
All right, thank you, Will. And next to Becky, we're talking our Howard Hustle.
Always admired for the wonderful, yummy barbecue smells. High Plains Spas and Recreation. Open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 1725 East Overland in Scottsbluff.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
Dooley Oil has been providing great service since 1968. They are your distributor for premium Shell lubricants and Howes fuel additive for Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado. They are the extreme diesel fuel provider for the 3-state region. Dooley Oil. On the mound, it is Jordan Stanton, the cross-firing right-hander, a Wisconsin native and a mutual friend of head coach Brandon Nelson. He is on for another appearance in favor of the Pioneers. Brandon Ward's outing draws to conclusion. In 5 innings, he allows 1 hit. He walks 5, but allows no earned runs, strikes out 6. So, perhaps Ward would have liked to control the zone just a little bit better, but no real complaints in the way of results. 13-0, the Pioneers are way out in front, as the first pitch from Stanton to the left-hand batter is taken upstairs for ball 1. Marcus Hamry, the batter, 0 for 2 today with the comebacker and a flyout. Left-hand batter, as Stanton deals, swing and a miss over the top, a changeup. 1-1. Jordan Stanton, a 3-inning stint with the Pioneers so far. He has not allowed an earned run as of yet. Here's the pitch. Slider swung on and missed. 1-2. He was dominant his past outing against North Platte. 3 innings, 2 strikeouts, 9 batters faced, 9 up, 9 down. He was perfect. Here's the 1-2 coming. Swing and a foul up out of play down the left side. He's actually pitched 1 more frame that gives him an ERA, but that's not in our scorebook. That was against the Denver Cougars and the Pioneers' 22-6 victory. Here's the 1-2 to Hamry. And he swings and misses, strike 3. The changeup, so devastating to opposite-handed hitters. And Stanton notches his first strikeout. One out, nobody on for Ian Baldwin. 13-0 Pioneers. Just a absolute rout here at Oregon Trail Park in Game 2 of 3. The pitch is swung on and missed. So Stanton, his stuff doesn't crackle like that of Tyler Bryant or Archie Blumenshine. But his command has been awesome so far with a couple of different secondary pitches. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a hard hit ball past the bag. A fair ball down the left field line. Base hit and a late foul call at the very end. I saw no motion from the outset from Travis Monk, the home plate umpire, which is his call. And typically if you see nothing, it's a fair ball, but that one just past the third base bag. Foul, evidently. 0-2. Sixth inning. The base is empty for Baldwin, who so far has walked and bounced out. 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Pios. The 0-2 is popped up foul out of play. Nothing but strike from Stanton so far. Chris Levenstein's out on deck. He's due up next. Infield playing back. Pitch black skies here at Oregon Trail. The pitch, swing and a bouncing ball to the left side. Charged by Lehman, picks out the tough hop, settles himself, throws across his body to first. Out number 2. So Lehman, nice play, not an easy play to retire Baldwin, who was hustling up the line. But he's now 0 for 2 for Chris Levensteins. Ryan's Welding, selling PJ Texas trailers in a wide variety of sizes, as well as offering a full-service welding shop. Ryan's Welding. Now it is a pinch hitter for Levensteins, a left-hand batter, who I do believe, as we skim through the roster here, Danny Barker. So Levenstein's name is scratched through the lineup card. Danny Baker, left-hand batter. He's got some power. Stanton deals his first pitch and misses up and away, ball 1. 13-0, the Pioneers leading. So Baker, the reason why we haven't seen him yet is because, well, his numbers are quite a bit to be improved on. He's hitting 109. He swings and misses, strike 1 over the top of fastball. In place of Levensteins, will likely slot in at first base, pending a couple of defensive changes. 2 outs, nobody on. The 1-1 from Stanton is in the dirt. Danny Barker. Sounds like an English chap. The 2-1 is lined out toward left field. In a couple of steps, Esposito, he barely has to move, and he hauls it in without further trouble. And the side is retired. Levensteins is pinch hit for. Barker is set down. And ultimately, it's 3 up, 3 down again for Jordan Stanton. So he's retired. 12 batters in a row, going back to last outing. 13-0, the Pioneers heading into the bottom of the 6th. They lead on the West Coast scoreboard.
Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve the budget. Whether you're in a factory, farm fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online today.
Why bank at a local community bank? When you choose a local community bank, you keep money in our local economy. That money helps support local jobs, schools, and businesses. Money that helps fund a stronger and prosperous community for us all to enjoy and live in. At Platte Valley Bank, we are here to help build and support the community we love being a part of. We believe that together, we can make great things happen. Platte Valley Bank.
Cannon Frost is relieved, and Eddie Montoya takes the ball in his stead. The right-hander, the Pioneers have seen him once this year. That was their lone road game against the Colorado Rough Riders. Montoya's stats on the year: a two-way player. He's played in the outfield. He's also pitched. His lone outing was against the Pioneers, throwing 2/3 of an inning, throwing 15 pitches and 3 batters, allowing 1 hit and no runs allowed to his name. So he's really a last resort. The Pioneers know a thing or two about that at this point in the season. The first pitch is swung on and missed from Griffin Robinson. Strike 1. Pioneers with a 13-0 lead in the 6th and hopefully second to last inning of this one. Here's the pitch from Montoya, and Robinson reaches for one and nicks the breaking ball out of play, 0-2. Robinson has had a date to forget so far. Those will happen every now and then. But he'd like to bounce back with a base hitter, a good at bat. The pitch. And he strikes out swinging, so he wears the sombrero with his 4th strikeout. Not this time for Griffin Robinson. Montoya dispatches Robinson and now James Lehman. Lehman 2 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Also scored thrice. 3 of the 13 runs scored have been him. Lehman, left-hand batter. Here's the pitch from Montoya. Throws across his body and he misses low with the breaking ball, 1-0. "12 hits for the Pioneers. They've also been aided by 7 walks and a couple of errors. Here's the pitch. And a called strike on the outside. It's 1-1. Lehman vacates the box, gets himself reset. Now he digs in his forward right foot first. 1-1, the pitch. Curveball down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike on the very disciplined James Lehman. Viero Wireless, hometown roots, global reach. Visit Viero Wireless in Scottsbluff. The third baseman, Barker, as there's a swing and a miss, 2-2. Barker, the new first baseman, after pinch hitting for Levensteins, he stays in the game and is now really playing back. 2-2 the count on Lehman. It'll be Guthrie, Mallow, and Montoya due up. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 3. 1 out, base is empty. Three and 2. Montoya deals the payoff pitch, and Lehman hits one high in the air, out beyond second base. It is the second baseman battling the lights. Miller reaches up and makes the catch. And 2 are gone here in the 6th. First time that Lehman has been retired. And that'll bring up Esposito. Garrett Esposito, his final game as a Pioneer might be a little bit shorter than he would have liked or expected. He is 2 for 4 today, though. Both of his hits came in the first inning. 2 outs, nobody on, 13-0 Pioneers. The first pitch is popped up into shallow center field. This one a little bit trickier for Miller, but he settles himself under it and makes the catch to retire the side. So a strikeout and a couple of easy pop-outs for the final 2 hitters this frame. The Pios go 1-2-3 for the first time in this contest. Game 2 of the 3-game series, the Pios are leading 13-0 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Thanks for being our customer. Come celebrate National Hot Dog Day on July 19th with Riverstone Bank. Stop into either our Scottsbluff or Gearing lobbies for your complimentary hot dog between 11 and 2. In Scottsbluff, Hiram and a few of his players will be stopping by to give the first 100 attendees a free ticket to the Pios versus Denver Rough Riders baseball game that night. We relish our customers and want to catch up with those who are not yet, so invite all to attend. We're local and we love our community. Riverstone Bank, member FDIC.
Advantage Chiropractic and Acupuncture in Scottsbluff supports the Western Nebraska Pioneers, treating your chiropractic needs from newborn to 100 years old. Dr. Levi Boland can treat all your hurts, pains, aches, and injuries. If you're experiencing pain in your head, neck, shoulders, arms, mid or lower back, or down your legs, call for an appointment today. Advantage Chiropractic is also fully certified with Optum VA. If you know a veteran that needs chiropractic care, call Levi today. Advantage Chiropractic and Acupuncture, 308-633-1425. Go Pios.
It's hot out there, so go in and get your free AC performance check only at Russell's Automotive. They will check belts, filters, AC compressor performance, and visually inspect for leaks. They only use the best products for your vehicle, and as an ASE certified technician performs service on your vehicle, you will know it's getting the best. They are now equipped to service the new 1234 YF-AC systems. They are here for you. That's Russell's Automotive, 112 West 27th Street, or give them a call at 635-4065.
KNEB 960 AM and 100.3 FM.
Dale Fry on in relief of Jordan Stanton. Everybody's talking things over. We're looking at a possible 10-run rule finish. 13-0 the Pioneers are leading here in inning number 7. 13 runs, 12 hits, no errors. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for the Colorado Rough Riders. Dale Fry on in relief of once again perfect Jordan Stanton. Fry, the Scottsdale native, not to be confused with Scotts Bluff. He's from Arizona. And Scotts Bluff, of course, in Nebraska. So he'll make another appearance. He did not fare all that well against the Rough Riders his previous trip, albeit that was at altitude. So Fry, getting ready to get back to work. Trans Systems, it's a sweet haul in this sweet community. Visit driveteamgreen.com. That is driveteamgreen.com. Fry against Guthrie, Mallow, and Montoya, the newly anointed pitcher in this game. Third baseman Robinson playing even with the bag. Guthrie the catcher today, as Fry deals, and a foul tip gets a big piece of Garrett Fisher, clings off his mask and trickles all the way to the third base on deck circle. 0-1. Oh and 1. Fisher, after being given a minute, settles back down in the crouch. That's the last thing the Pioneers need, a concussion to their final active catcher. Close to a worst-case scenario, in fact, as Fry takes and deals. Fastball called, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. 13-0 Pioneers. Couldn't be a lower stress situation for Dale Fry. Here's the stretch, and a fastball misses up and away. Dale Fry is very quick to home plate, and there will be some times that he looks a bit too quick for his own good. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball high, 2-2. Not quite enticing enough for Reagan Guthrie. The Rough Riders have had 1 hit this game, as Fry holds and deals his 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with the slider. Breaks off a beauty there. Out number 1. So I think it's safe to say the Pioneers have given the Rough Riders a taste of their own medicine. They got shut out yesterday, and now they have delivered a 13 spot so far here in this game. We have not, as of yet, received confirmation that the 10-run rule is in effect. In the meantime, it'll be John Mallow. Mallow, 1 for 2. He has singled and he is lined out, being robbed of a hit his previous trip. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses. That live fastball of Dale Fry, catching nothing but leather on that offering. 0-1. 1 out, nobody on here in inning number 7. Very well could be the last. Here's the pitch. Swing and a pop foul, hit out of play. 0-2. You only need 10 runs to win a 10-run rule finish in 7 innings. The Pioneers have 13, a baker's dozen to a goose egg. Here's Fry, kicking and dealing. Slider way up and outside, 1-2. Fry looks in, gets a sign from Fisher, his new battery mate. A breath, now the pitch. Slider, called, strike 3 on the inside corner. And Mallow is unhappy with that, exchanging words out the side of his helmet as he walks all the way back to the dugout with his bat in his left hand. So Mallow has set down 2 straight strikeouts for the right-hander Dale Fry. Inning number 7 from the Logos broadcast booth. I'm Carson Trail. Thank you very much for joining us. Game 2 of 3. The Pioneers and the Rough Riders as Fry deals and misses down and away to Eddie Montoya. Infield's playing straight away. Montoya throws right but bats left as Fry pitches, swing and a ball hit foul. 1-1. Montoya today started as the DH. He popped out and he has walked. Andrew LaPearl, the number 9 hitter, has not been retired yet today. He's walked twice, although he might not even get a chance. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch, way outside and low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Seven in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, and a 4 in the fifth. That counts 13. And then nothing across the board for the Rough Riders. 2-1 the count on Montoya. Here's Fry pitching. Fastball up and away, ball 3. You would hate to lose him. Always good to wrap these things up in as due time as possible. Dale Fry sets. Now he pitches. Swing, and that one's lofted in the air to center field. Carpenter underneath it, and he makes the catch. And the side is retired. This ball game's over. Dale Fry didn't know it at first. After jogging off the mound, he jogs back on to celebrate with his teammates. A 10-run rule victory. The Pioneers win 13-0. When we come back, it'll be our Runs Up postgame show on the Westco scoreboard.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve the budget. Whether you're in a factory, farm fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online today.
We can sum up.
A score of 6-0 yesterday, came back and took this one in a mercy rule 13-0 final. The game got out to a pretty torrid start The first 7 men reached for the Pioneers on 4 singles, 2 walks, and then another single to score a pair. They ended up scoring a total of 7 runs, sending 11 men to the plate in the first. Coy Carpenter, Michael Asensio, and Garrett Esposito, a trio of 2-run singles. Things got off to a pretty good start for Brandon Ward. Went seamlessly through the first 2 innings, facing the minimum, allowing only a walk. His line would conclude in 5 innings, allowing 1 hit, 5 walks, and no runs. So the Pioneers, with the shutout performance, will have their pitchers take batting practice probably sometime tomorrow. That's the tradition. A complete game shutout, deserving of those honors. Heading in toward the later innings, the Pioneers would keep their foot on the gas pedal. A run in the second, a run in the third, and then 4 runs coming in the fifth. Coy Carpenter picked up 5 runs batted in today, a couple of 2-run base hits, and a sacrifice fly. So he had certainly a hallmark performance as a Pioneer today. And the Pioneers handed the ball to Stanton and Fry, Jordan Stanton and Dale Fry, a perfect inning each, relieving Brandon Ward and propelling the Pioneers to their 26th victory. They are now 26-10. The visiting Rough Riders, 8-19. Final line score, 13 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 7 left aboard for the Pioneers. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, and 5 stranded for the Rough Riders. The winning pitcher is Brandon Ward. He improves to 3-1. It is Kean Phillips, the losing pitcher. He falls to 2-2. No save. The time of the game, 2 hours and 26 minutes. And a pretty good crowd in attendance tonight, although we have no official measurement here in the Logos broadcast booth right now. So the Pioneers take game 2 of 3. They even the series and clinch at least a 500 homestand. We'll be back with our Taco John's player of the game and what's next in just a moment.
It takes a lot to run your business and a lot of change.
McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain and grease intervals to reduce maintenance and labor costs to improve the budget. Whether you're in a factory, farm fleet, or like to go fast, Hydrotex is here to help. Visit your local Hydrotex dealer in person or online today.
Why bank at a local community bank? When you choose a local community bank, you keep money in our local economy. That money helps support local jobs, schools, and businesses. Money that helps fund a stronger and prosperous community for us all to enjoy and live in. At Platte Valley Bank, we are here to help build and support the community we love being a part of. We believe that together, we can make great things happen. Platte Valley Bank.
We can sum up McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwich in one word. Crispy. But also juicy and tender. Okay, it's crispy, juicy, tender. All one word. But then also pickle. Oh, and potato bun, which is 2 words. Okay, we can't sum up our new crispy chicken sandwich in one word, so you'll just have to try it to understand it. Order ahead on the McDonald's app at participating McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes over 300 different high-performance lubricants, including fuel conditioners, hydraulic and transmission fluid, and more. We've been helping customers improve their operations for more than 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and can even deliver right to your door to offer excellent service and value. Our products are made to exceedingly extend drain.
Show the Pioneers with an outstanding victory to bounce back after being shut out yesterday for the first and what we hope is the only time this year. Always good to see the team turn things around like that against a formidable opponent in the Colorado Rough Riders. We're going to do things a little bit out of order today. We'll start with our What's Next segment that typically caps off our Runza postgame show. Tomorrow, the Colorado Rough Riders will play the final currently scheduled game of the season series. That game will be at 6:35 p.m. Mountain Time. Pregame, pending delays, of course, will begin at 6:15. After that, the Pioneers embark on their 7-day-long road trip to Hayes, Liberal, and Dodge City. 3 formidable opponents, 3 sold-out crowds in the state of Kansas. So that's the look at what's next. The Pioneers in the middle of a 13-day stretch with not a single off day in between. And they have really been grinding through the first portion of that schedule, taking the first 2 games, or the second of the 2 games played so far in this 3-game series, and they have split with the Colorado Rough Riders. Game 3 of the rubber match tomorrow with Archie Blumenshine on the hill. As now that I've finished stalling, time to host our Taco John's Player of the Game, Garrett Esposito. Welcome back. I remember we had you on for the first game of the season, and now it is your last game of the season with the Pioneers, and you've certainly made your mark here as part of the team.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I remember the first interview. It was awesome. So here we are again.
Yeah, welcome back. I just want to ask you a little bit. So you came up twice in that first inning, a couple of singles, one to drive in a pair. You're seeing the ball pretty well early on. I want to ask you, how often do you come up in that kind of situation where you bat around and you're in for the second time against the same guy in one frame?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's pretty rare, but as a team, offensively, we kind of just exploded, put on 7. So, I mean, it feels good to come up twice just knowing our team came through, and I was just trying to do my part of see the ball hit the ball.
So, one thing about today's victory, you guys had 12 hits, and they were all singles. So is that something you kind of expected from this team? You guys have so much power up and down, but you just kind of nickel-dimed them today.
I mean, a lot of us have started to just kind of narrow things down, just try to hit the ball, put it in play. I mean, the field's kind of a graveyard here. We thought the ball flies here, and then after the first week, nothing's really left. So we're all just trying to put our best swing on it and see what happens.
Worked out today. A couple of singles, a 2-for-5 performance. So, I mean, I guess I want to ask you, you're heading to the University of Indianapolis, a Division II school in Indiana.
Yep.
And I guess, what are your other plans after?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that. Hopefully I'm going to go in there, play right away, and then make a trip to Cary, North Carolina, where the D2 World Series is at. They were there last year, so hoping to bring it back.
A lot of good baseball in Indiana. Indiana State also in the D1 playoffs.
Yeah.
Almost hosting a super regional. A lot of good baseball.
Yeah, it's awesome out there. Everybody kind of sleeps on the Midwest, but it's really good.
Yeah, a lot of good baseball to be played. And Garrett Esposito, it's been a pleasure to have you at the center of the Pioneers baseball for the duration of this year. Our Taco John's Player of the Game.
Thank you.
The Player of the Game is presented by Taco John's. As I flip through the script to see where it is. The Player of the Game is brought to you by Taco John's of Scottsbluff and Gary. Make Taco John's a game day tradition by unwrapping the original before or after every game. Our first Taco John's Player of the Game, Garrett Esposito, reprises his role with a multi-hit performance in a 13-0 Pioneers victory. Garrett, thank you very much for joining us. This has been our Runza postgame show. Stop into Runza. Runza doesn't like to think of themselves as just another restaurant in town. They like to think of themselves as part of the community. Runza, with locations in Scottsbluff, Gering, Chadron, and Alliance. So long to you folks, the good people of Gering, Scottsbluff, and Terrytown. I say goodnight, wish you well, and hopefully we'll have you back for more Pioneers baseball tomorrow. 6:35 per first pitch. The Pioneers and the Rough Riders, a rubber match to be played tomorrow.
This has been the Runza Postgame Show, presented by Runza Restaurants. Runza makes a great stop before or after every game. Win or lose, Runza makes it all better. Today's broadcast is copyrighted and the sole possession of KNEB and the Nebraska Rural Radio Association. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Nebraska Rural Radio Association is prohibited. This has been a special presentation of the Nebraska Rural Radio Association. We now return to our regularly scheduled